Yeah, welcome to another episode of ArtCo Drone Solutions. Happy International Drone Day. Yeah, welcome to the show. We've got a great show today. We're kicking off the show with the memberships, the join button added to the channel. And I want to thank Henry Robotic for joining. That is awesome. What else? Oh, we're going to talk about getting people with disability into the dronosphere. Give them the love of drones. And also, we're going to talk about all kinds of other stuff. And folks who have sent me drones and stuff. But before we get going, let's kick it off with On This Day in History. In 1006, supernova observed by the Chinese and Egyptians in the constellation Lupus. 1048, Bishop Bernold flees St. Peterskerk for Utrecht, Netherlands. 1328, the Wars of Scottish Independence ends. Treaty of Edinburgh Northampton, the Kingdom of England recognizes the Kingdom of Scotland as an independent state. 1486, Christopher Columbus proposes his plan to search for a western route to India. An audience with the Spanish monarch Isabella I. Full support is granted 3 years later in 1489. 1523, Danish King Christian III arrives in Veer. 1544, Turkish troops occupy Hungary. And now, film and TV. 1931, singer Kate Smith begins her long-running radio program on CBS. 1939, Batman appears in Detective Comics number 27. 1941, Citizen Kane, directed by Orson Welles, and directed himself. Joseph Cotton and Dorothy Corning Gore premieres at the Palace Theater in New York City. 1950, WJIM, now WLNS, TV Channel 6 in Lansing, Michigan, begins broadcasting. CBS. 1954, WAPA, TV Channel 4 in San Juan, Puerto Rico, begins broadcasting. 1957, Larry King's first radio broadcast. 1960, 7th National Film Awards, India. Apoor Sansar wins the Golden Lotus. 1976, Empress Lily, replica of the paddle steamer, dedicated at Walt Disney World, Florida. And that is what's happened in this date in film and TV. Let's go to music, shall we? $1950, Pulitzer Prize awarded Rodgers and Hammerstein for the musical South Pacific. 1966, the last British concert by the Beatles, Empire Pool in Wembley. 1968, Ben Franklin in Paris closes at the Lunt-Fontanne, New York City after 215 performances. 1971, Rolling Stones release Brown Sugar. 1972, Different Times opens at Amphitheater, New York City for 24 performances. 1971, Elton John becomes the first pop star to perform in Israel. 1980, the 15th Academy of Country Music Awards. Larry Gatlin and Crystal Gale win. Alrighty, let's turn to sports, shall we? '83, first National League Baseball game in Philadelphia since 1876. The Providence Grays beat the Philadelphia Quakers 4-3. 1883, Bob Rogers is acknowledged as the first American pro sports trainer when he's hired by the New York Athletic Club. 1884, catcher Moses Walker is acknowledged as the first African American to play Major League Baseball, joining the Toledo Blue Stockings. 1891, legendary pitcher Cy Young wins his first game played at Cleveland's League Park. The Cleveland Spiders 12, the Cincinnati Redlights 3. 1901, the Chicago White Sox, Herm McFarland hits first Grand Slam in American League history in a 19-9 win over the Detroit Tigers, who commit 12 errors. 1906, the Philadelphia Athletic pitcher John Lush no-hits the Brooklyn Superbas 6-0. 1920, Roermond Football Club. 1936, KNVB Cup is established in the Netherlands, and that's all on this date in history. Also, if you don't know, May 1st is also the day in 1945 Hitler was announced that he is dead. Also, in 2011, Osama bin Laden was declared dead on this date. So let's get to our first panelist. All the way from Liverpool, New York, let's welcome Chuck. Welcome, Chuck.
Everybody.
Good to see you.
Art, thanks for having me, brother. And Henry, our newest member. Thanks for joining,
Henry.
Yeah, he and I go back a whole 6 months, I think, from droning on.
Oh,
that's
right.
that we joined droning on about the same time, and
awesome.
One of the membership perks there is you get on this Discord. I don't know if you're going to do that or not, Art, but Discords are pretty cool. Good way for the members to collaborate and communicate. Pretty badass.
Awesome.
So what you been up to all day? Did you get that win? Oh.
Let me say hello to everybody in the chat. Let's go all the way back. Let's see. We got Henry Robotic, Chris Wedgeworth, Gene Fox, Green Mountain Droning, Drone Views Media. Let's see who else. Bly Neal. And then we have Dustin Gable. Not to be confused with the Green Gables, Seven Gables. Anyway.
Or Dustin Hoffman.
And then there's Steve Carpenter, SC Aerials. And Gary Bauer. And then I saw Hot Rod in Daytona, Chad B. And then I saw, who was it? I saw an old friend of mine, Brad Pear. Brad Pear, good to see you. Chad B. There's Brad. Also, AZ Drone Dude, Chris Sunrise Water Media, No Fly Zone, No Fly Drone. Welcome, welcome. Joe Blaylock. All right, I think we've got everybody.
I think so. If not, speak up.
Okay. Oh, and then we got Seth's Travel Vlogs. Welcome to the show. David of AZ Drone Dudes, he got his toffee.
Ooh, that's
So
good stuff.
enjoy.
Yeah, it's good stuff. If you ever don't like it, is that even good English? That's not proper English. If you don't like the toffee, send it to me.
Yeah, there
I'll
you
take your
go. There you
leftovers.
go. And Chris, I did get your drone, and here it is. It's
Sweet.
called the pig.
Why is
The
it called the
pig.
pig? Why
I
is it called
have
the pig?
no idea. You know how those Chinese are. They
Is it
lost in translation, I
the
guess.
year of the
But
pig
this
is when it was designed?
it could be the way it looks, kind of like a pig.
Sorry, but it's not pink. I like the way the props are protected by those housings. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's fun to fly.
How's the camera on it, Art? Is it pretty good?
It doesn't have a camera on it.
There's no camera on it?
Nope. And
You gonna put one on it?
here's the controller.
Look how small. Let's look goggles on your face. That's awesome.
Yeah, there you go. I got my goggles on. There we go. I'm FPV flying. There we go.
Just yell them out just the right distance, so there's like goggles. Beautiful.
But you know what? I might be able to put a FPV camera on the top.
You can get a little camera on there.
Yeah.
Might
Yeah.
cut the flight time in half. You can do it. You can
Yep.
do anything. I saw John Coopy
Koopy.
Koopy did a video earlier on the naked GoPro. He was tearing one apart. Did a pretty good
Cool.
hands-on of ripping it apart. Looks pretty involved. I'm sure some of the guys
Yeah.
that do FPV in the chat here have done it. Guys are gutsy.
Yep.
His hands were all cut up too. I was watching the video and his hands were all tore up to shreds. It wasn't just the GoPro shell that got shredded. His hands did too. They were really tore up.
Drone Views Media had my first flight since I got out of the hospital. My Mini 2 got. Well, that's why you gotta get those little heron eyes put on them.
Did it go down, Drone's View, or did you save it?
Yeah, that would be interesting.
Oh, Henry Robox says you have to use gloves. Hey, dude, you can't use gloves on that stuff. You gotta sacrifice the blood to the drone gods to get the job done. It's like a sacrificial thing. I can't feel anything with gloves.
That's what
Get in
she
there.
said.
That's I'm not going there this early in the show. I'm gonna give it a few minutes. It's just trouble right there. We have young people in the audience. Art.
Yes, we do. That's
this is
right. We got.
This is a family show, sort of. PG-13, maybe. Yeah, PG-13.
There we go. He's going to make a video of the attack.
Oh, I don't know if I want to watch this. I want to watch it, but I don't. Does that make sense? So you're not going to tell us what happened. It's going to be a secret. We'll know if the drone was saved or not.
Nobody would
watch it.
Yeah, I mean you got to give them a little bit of the sizzle to pull the people into the video. Yeah.
That's the hook. Got to have the hook.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I would like to know if he flew the Tello yet.
I don't know, but he might have to now.
Like that.
That's the one you should have gone after seagulls with. And put some Alka-Seltzer on the back of it so when they pick at it, they explode. Film that. Wait, that's really bad. I think gulls are protected, so everything I said is probably like trying to get all the what are those the animal protective people are going to come after me now. What are you saying? You're a horrible person. Yeah, PETA's probably mad at me now. I love animals, but seagulls, they're the exception. They don't have the nickname flying rats for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah. Yep.
I used to have to park in my work parking lot that was located between the dump and the sewage treatment plant. And guess what spent a lot of time on the roof of the building and flying over the parking lot losing ballast? seagulls.
Oh boy.
The cars were covered every day.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
Well, that's why you gotta put wax on your car.
This stuff ate right through the wax.
Oh, ouch.
It would get on the
Ouch.
windshield and be like just bonded to it.
Yeah,
Hit the
that's
spray.
right.
You can with the washers
just
on.
goes-
It wouldn't even touch it. It's actually scratched the windshield on my vehicle because they eat gravel to like aid in digestion.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, so it's like grit on your windshield. Anyway, let's get off this topic. I look forward to the seagull attack video, though. I'll be rooting for the drone the whole time. Go drone! Go drone!
Well, I'm going to do a video about, the other cool thing, the props light up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they change colors.
Can
It
you?
is really cool.
You'll have to get a video of it.
Yeah. So it came with 2 batteries, and I mean it flies about 6-7 minutes. Not bad. It was easy to fly around because it's got the sensors on the bottom like a tello.
That's unusual, isn't it?
This is a sensor.
Wow, I thought that was a camera. That's why I asked at first.
I did too. I think it's a forward-facing sensor.
Most sensors are actually cameras. I'm surprised it can't double as a camera. Maybe a low res, but still a camera. So that's really unusual to have a drone that small and have downward-facing sensors and stuff.
The Tellos got them.
The Tello's pretty new. I mean, that's. Well, when did the pig come out?
I don't know.
We'll have to Google up. We'll have to Google up when the pig.
It's by Tomson.
Tomson. Is it just like it sounds? Tomson? Can't.
No, it's Tomzon.
Tomzon.
Yeah.
Let's look that thing up. Tomzon. Pig. PIG. Thomson A31 Flying Pig Mini LED Drone Review. Oh, there's one on YouTube by RD's RC Reviews. I want to see the LEDs.
Yeah,
3D flips. Yeah. You have to do some videos on this thing, Art.
Yeah.
So the videos are pretty new. They go back earlier this year.
Cool.
Maybe it's pretty new.
Mm-hmm. So James is probably
Waffles.
having his waffles right now.
Or pancakes.
And he just released hold on.
What?
All the way from Huntington, Tennessee, let's welcome the king of drones. It's Ken Heron. Welcome.
Oh, stop. I'm not the
Mr.
king.
Heron.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
I'm in Jackson, Tennessee. And, one of my...
Got another drone getting repaired?
Look at
yeah, how'd you guess?
Look at that.
Yeah.
Ken, you had spotty Wi-Fi earlier? You missed out on Geeks Fauna. They were looking forward to you. That's a bummer.
I tried... Okay, the thing that he's repairing right now happened right before I was supposed to go on with Geeks Fauna.
Oh,
So
no.
we were walking around a field looking for drone parts when I was supposed to be calling. And I did call Geeks Fauna. I did call Geeks Fauna about 10 minutes late. So.
Oh, no, Ken. Oh, man.
Yeah, so. I mean,
Hey, we got another new member, Big Water UAV Solutions.
I wish it was that easy to
Welcome
make parts for the FPV drone, Ken.
right. You know, when you disarm your drone, just do a switch. Don't do it the way I did it. Don't disarm your drone.
Didn't you do that once before, though, and saved it? You had like a midair save once, didn't you?
Probably. But I never broke an arm off of a quad before.
Well, it's because you didn't fly the DJI FPV drone enough. They break arms every day just by sneezing on them.
Yeah, I think people are starting to realize that what I was talking about is true, that it is a piece of poo.
Well, it's very fragile. It's very fragile.
It is fragile. It's great. If you fly a DJI FPV quad, just keep it off the 10 feet off the ground at all times. Don't go through anything. Don't take any chances. Don't have any fun. Then it'll be fine.
Well, unless you can solder and you can replace the arms and stuff, and I guess it's okay. But it's I love mine, but damn, it is. I'm worried about even bumping anything. I think it'll just.
Well, I mean, if you break something serious, it's not like you can replace an ESC on a DJI drone yourself.
No, you have to buy the whole arm and the motor and everything, and I haven't even priced them up. But it's certainly like a Mavic as far as construction's concerned, which is kind of not ideal for FPV.
Yeah, but it's brilliant as a business decision on DJI's part because they're going to make a lot of money on parts and repairs and replacements and all that. And, but anyway, I didn't come on here to bash the.
No. Don't. I'm just saying it is fragile. I love flying the thing and it gets great footage, but it is fragile. That's its Achilles heel. It's fragile.
The best thing to do is to put it in a GPC case and then put it in your closet.
I'm waiting for guys to come out with carbon fiber parts for them, and basically, like a naked GoPro, just take the guts of it, all the brains, and put it on carbon fiber.
Well, funny you should say that.
Would love to do that, but finding the frame for the gimbal and everything. There it is. The gimbal and everything.
Yeah,
that's tricky. It's gotta be wide.
But we talked about doing that, and I actually talked with Joshua Bardwell about doing that. Did you know that?
No. What did he say?
He said it would be fun. So
it's a good project.
I think that just take the arms off. Put it on a frame. You don't have to take the gimbal off or anything like that.
That's actually true. Yeah, if you could get the housing, the frame, like you said, the frame and the arms, and make them carbon fiber.
Just take all of that stuff that's already in that little pod,
the plastic cagey pod thing that DJI has,
and then just take the arms off and the compass or wherever that's located, and then just strap it on a 7-inch FPV frame. Right
now, you're talking.
There you go. That's what you could do with your
now you're
your
talking.
drone cam.
I told Bardwell that I would sacrifice my DJI FPV for that experience, and then we were going to name it. What were you going to name it?
Frankenstein.
The Abomination.
Oh, I thought you were going to call it Dronkenstein or something. Dronkenstein. It's alive! Alive! I can see it now.
We'll call it the DJ I Don't Think So.
I could see it on like the whole Frankenstein feel, Ken, where you had like the table and the electrodes and everything.
Yeah, we'll put neck bolts on it.
Yeah, there you go.
Be awesome.
Okay.
Be waiting for that.
How are you doing, Art?
I'm doing pretty good. I don't know if you heard this, but Jim Beauchart and we're going to combine our channels. It's going to be called ArtCo Drone Solutions.
Or you could do a show together and call it Art and Shart or Shart and Art, the Art and Shart show.
Art of Shart.
There you go. Ooh, the Art of Shart. Shart Art. Ooh, Shart Art. You know somewhere there's Shart Art. Someone took a canvas and then had diarrhea and made art.
Oh, that's kind of wrong. Be scratch and sniff though.
Yeah, it would. And you would and if you ate corn, it would be texture. You'd have good texture.
Ooh.
Yeah. Nice. Braille, maybe.
Yeah. Well, Art, do you have a joke for us? Give us a joke. I know you have one, you comedian. Let me hear a joke.
Oh, man. I
got?
just told you.
You got one in your hip pocket. Come on, everybody's got a joke.
Dun 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 dun
Hold
dun
on.
dun dun dun.
He's looking up jokes.
Dun dun
He's
dun.
Googling jokes. All right, I got one. I got one for you. Hey, Chuck.
Yeah, Ken.
I was going to tell you a time travel joke, but you didn't like it.
Why didn't I like it?
Oh, no. Let me rephrase. Hey, Chuck.
Yeah, Ken.
I was going to tell you a time travel joke, but you didn't like it. Implying, of course, that I traveled into the future, told you the joke, you didn't like it. I traveled back and reported that you didn't like it.
Oh, I thought it's because I just didn't have a flux capacitor, or my FPV drone only went 87 miles per hour instead of 88, so I couldn't do time travel with it.
You got it, right? You understood that one, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I'm just a little slow.
Chuck, you need more RAM.
I need more RAM. I need more something, Ken.
Awesome. How long have you been doing your stream tonight? How long have you been on?
26 minutes.
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Okay. All right. Cool.
30,
Well,
3106.
how many people are watching?
26 people.
Okay. Hello, 26 people.
Is that it? Yeah, 26.
All right. Well.
Oh, and I don't, Ken, if you didn't know, I've added a join feature on my channel. You could become a member of ArtCo Drone Solutions. We have 3 levels. We have the Freebird level, the Silver Eagle, and the Golden Eagle.
Okay. Would this be annoying if I was on here and it just kept doing this in the background the whole time?
Kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
Was it?
It's maybe after a while it'll get annoying, but it's kind of cool right now. It's kind of like, yeah, I like it.
Are you okay with this?
It's got a Alfred Hitchcock kind of feel to it.
There you go.
Hey, do you want to see something neat?
Sure. Go ahead.
All right. It's the original Mavic Pro.
Oh wow, look at that!
You remember?
I loved mine.
Does anybody still have one?
Anybody in the chat still have one?
Look at that.
Wow.
No.
And the most fragile gimbal ever known to man. But man, it was cool because that would film in portrait mode. That was cool.
It did?
Yeah, rotate at 90 degrees, bloop, and film in portrait mode.
Oh, so you can post things on Instagram.
Yes, if you had one now, you could. You could do the little shorts for YouTube legally with 4K. in
portrait
9
mode.
by 16.
You kids with your crazy portrait mode, what are you doing with your crazy portrait mode?
So they can watch everything like this, Ken. So they can watch everything like this because it's too hard to go like this. You gotta go like this.
I know. You know, I was out at this event where I'm following these drift cars with the FPV quad, and there was a row of young people. I say young people, younger than me. They're, with their phones. Every single one of them had it in portrait mode, even though the track and everything you view is this way. But they were holding
It's a pet peeve of mine as well. It drives me crazy, and I catch my relatives and stuff. And I'm like, just turn it 90 degrees. You get cinematic that way. It's like you can film widescreen. You can crop it, be skinny if you want, but get it all to begin with.
I think the part is where where's your phone, Chris? Okay, let me just demonstrate. I think what it is people want to be able to look at whatever they're filming, because if you have it like this, then you're like, how?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. Or they're just
Yep. I
not
think
thinking
you're right.
about it.
You can't have it both ways, man. You gotta have the footage later or see it live now.
Can you do that? Yeah. Can you do that YouTube thing in non-portrait mode?
I thought by rules, no. Although I've seen people claim to do shorts in like 16 by 9 instead of 19 by 6. And then SB under 60 seconds or less.
I've never done it. By the way, I've been chewing gum this whole time. That's rude. I apologize.
Yeah, we'll
You
forget.
know what I'm saying?
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's really rude to be on and just talking and just smacking your gum around.
He's practicing to be a cow. It's all good.
Nah, no.
Yeah.
What you
Hey,
drinking?
Ken, I've got a question.
High quality H2O.
Yes,
Some
Art?
wine.
Is your radio station on iHeartRadio?
Good question.
That is a good question. I don't know.
Should be. Didn't one of the viewers say it was? I thought, or somebody called it out. Can't remember.
We do a caster link. Here's the thing. There's software at the radio station that streams the thing, and they don't want to pay for it. So once in a while it just stops for no reason. And then they have to restart it. Then they have to hit the thing like, no, I don't want to buy it. And that happens every, I don't know how often.
It's gonna be so many hours
Yeah.
or something.
So, I mean, they can only not afford to do that because they're paying me so much to do the morning show.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're worth it, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. That's called being facetious.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, it's fun and I enjoy it. But
That's
I don't know if it's on iHeartRadio, but I think you can go to rock98.3.com and stream it from there.
Probably can.
Where are you, Art? What is that? Are you at Westminster Abbey? Where are you? What is that?
Well, this is Westminster Castle. It's only a mile away from my house.
So I was right. It really is Westminster.
Yeah.
I was just joking.
Yep.
Okay.
You were
It
close.
started off as a university, and then it was vacant for several years after World War One, and now it's a K through 12 school.
Oh, neat. And since we're getting such a great view of it, you must be living in a really snazzy neighborhood.
It's a high-end apartment, I can tell you, right?
Yeah. Have you gotten used to driving on the wrong side of the road yet?
Only with his RoboMaster.
Yeah. Oh man, this room is filled with so much fun
There's
stuff.
a lot of toys in there and stuff.
Let me go over here and show you. So Chris does flight simulators. So he's got like this awesome joystick thing here. What is this? The Annihilator 5000? What do you call this thing?
5001.
Oh, here we get. Oh, this is the 5000. He sprung for the 5001.
Cool.
Yeah. And then what else is in here? I mean, CDs. Who has CDs anymore? Right?
Me?
Yeah.
I
I've
do.
got a whole stack
Do you?
of them.
Yes, tons of them. I
You
ripped
have
them all, but I
DVDs too? Because look, there's DVDs here.
have those stupid things. I even have a Blu-ray burner in my computer. Even though
Ooh.
my computer's new, I kept the old Blu-ray burner because there was room for it.
Oh, The Offspring. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unda gleben goblin glooben.
Ooh,
Pretty
Ooh.
fly for a white
Def
guy.
Leppard, huh?
Yes. Now The Offspring stole that from.
Def Leppard.
Def Leppard.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh. Oh.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what this is?
I can't tell what that is from here. Looks like
It's
almost torch news.
It's a power screwdriver.
Oh,
It's one of those neat little.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's neat.
So
And,
Art, I Ken might be able to help you, Art. You know how the motion controller, if any of the disabled people are going to fly with the motion controller, we were talking about this stupid thing earlier.
Oh, right.
If somebody can make a mount to like support the bottom of it and put it in a base like a joystick, you could hold it. Can I do this on camera? Kind of like, have some of the base to support it so they could actually use it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Art, do you ever have any problems using a regular controller with your hands?
no, I'm fine. It's... In fact, hold on.
What was that thing you super chatted me and said, I'm straight, but my legs and hands aren't, or whatever?
Yeah. For the record, I'm straight.
I read that and I thought, oh, Art, what are you doing? Yeah, okay.
Here's my controller for my FPV.
Yeah.
And you're good?
And
Everything
right,
good with that?
right now I have issues connecting it with what is it? Velocidrone. Because
Really?
my
Okay.
computer won't see this.
Do you plug it in? Do you know where to put the cord in that? Is that the X7?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Got
And
my
do you know where
USB.
the
connector?
plug-in is for that? Where's your
Yeah.
controller?
Mm-hmm. It's right on the bottom of the controller.
The USB's on the bottom.
In the
Connect
bottom,
the USB.
next to where the SD card goes in. You know that, right?
Yep.
I had
wanna
problems.
recognize it.
I had problems connecting to Velocidrone as well, and I forget. I can't remember for the life of me what the solution was. I think it's some kind of driver.
Yeah,
I think
there's a driver for the USB. It's a lib USB driver. but I don't have that on my Windows.
You can
for some
download it.
reason, so it's not there.
You'll be
Yeah.
able to download it somewhere from one of the.
Well, I did download it, but it's a real pain in the butt to try to get into.
Ken probably has it.
Well, I remember having that problem. Then I searched on YouTube, and then some nice, like, 11-year-old kid was like, well, first you download the driver, and then you go to Windows / and he did this whole thing. You know,
Nice.
you know how little kids are smarter than us now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Do you have Jeff Still's number?
Yes, I do.
I would call
Yeah.
him. He could probably help
Yeah.
walk you through that.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions that I can help you with?
Nice.
Well,
Ask Ken.
one of my viewers sent me this drone.
Is that the light up one?
Yes,
The
it
pig.
is.
Yeah, a company just sent me that. Have you flown it yet?
Oh, yes, I did. Oh, it's a blast. It flies like the Tello.
Okay. So,
And
would
here's
you,
the little controller. Watch, I got. It looks like I'm wearing toffee.
it does look like that. Would you, very much like the Tello, would you advise flying that drone outside, or is that just an inside drone?
The Tello flies well outdoors as long as you don't have a real strong wind. It's fine outdoors.
Right.
I flew it
And that-
outdoors. I have a
that light up
video on
one?
my channel.
The light up one, I haven't opened mine up yet. Is that RGB? Can you change the colors in the app or something?
I don't think so. It just changes colors by itself.
Okay, well that looks
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah,
There are a
it
couple
is.
reviews already on YouTube on that thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give that away next TNL.
Okay, cool.
Because you know how much I love toy drones.
He's a real drone kind of dude.
Well, it's just, not that I'm better than toy drones, but I think I'm better than toy drones.
You kind of want to use the footage for something.
Yeah,
most of the time.
yeah.
I think that's the problem I have with them. I want to do something with the footage. I don't want to just fly just to fly.
The problem is,
Need
and I'll be
purpose.
honest with you. I'm very honest about things I review, so I would feel disingenuous saying this is awesome if I'm not getting pleasure out of it myself.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure it could be fun for kids, and I will give it away, and some kid will fly it and have fun. But
When it's stuck in a
people send me
tree.
these-
Yeah.
yeah, when people send me these products, I'm like, well, is this fun? You know, if I make a video out of it, would I watch the video? And if the answer is no, then it gathers dust.
So you need to have find a 13-year-old kid or something to fly it with you, and you can review him or her flying it. That'd be kind
Yeah.
of
There you
cool.
go.
Get it from
Yeah.
a kid's perspective is what they
Right.
think of it.
Yes.
Isn't there a
if I
dude?
had to-
Isn't there a kid on YouTube that's reviews toys and he's has a zillion subscribers because
Oh, yeah.
yeah
Yes.
kind of spin.
Was it Brian's World? Ryan's World.
yeah
And
Yeah.
he's like a multimillionaire at age 11 or something.
Yeah.
you can collab
Not
with
to
him,
be
Ken. Collab with him and
confused
have him
with
fly the
Ryan
thing for you.
Squirrel.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Hi. I'm a random 54-year-old guy. Can I talk to your toddler? Can you see that?
Let's see if it can carry. Let's see if this drone can carry a small toddler.
Right. I don't know how old the kid is, but can you imagine that? Or
Hang on.
Even an email. They're like, "Hey, I'm a YouTuber as well. I'm 54 years old. I thought that maybe you and your child and I could do a collaboration." The
Might
cops
say
would be over
yes.
my house so quick.
Depends if they've seen Thursday Night Live or not. If they would call it, yeah, you might be okay. You could be okay, Ken.
Yeah, yeah. YouTube is funny with kid stuff.
Yeah, they've really cracked down in the last year or so.
By the way, if there's anybody watching that has set their channel to OK for Kids, you have killed your channel.
Yep.
You have. That is channel
Yep.
death. I see that
Yep.
so many times. People send me videos, and I click on the link, and I go to comment, and you can't comment because they have set it. It's very confusing.
Yep.
When you set your channel to OK for Kids or whatever the wording is, then it's shut down. You don't show up in searches or anything.
Oh man, it locks you right down.
Yeah.
Super safe.
Let's welcome all the way from Palm Bay, Florida. It is Above and Beyond Drones, Jim.
Hey guys.
Welcome, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
I was just watching Ken's Splendora Police Department video. I got a laugh at it. That was good. I like that.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm going back there this summer, in fact, with Chris Rollins, and
Awesome.
we're gonna. I talked with them, and I'm gonna chase the cop car with the FPV quad.
Oh, that's cool.
That was something I always wanted to do, is have the M210 up and then chase it with another one and get a decent picture out of it. I've been scared to do it. I've been seeing too many guys actually. Well,
Yeah, the thing with that is when you're filming a drone from another drone, you have to stand right next to the other person and call out your altitude. Keep a 10-foot difference. One at 50 feet, one at 60 feet, and don't change altitude when you're flying near each other.
Basically, leave space.
it's amazing what you
Right
can
away.
do by accident. But when Carlos and Drone Bum Paulie try and hit each other with the FPV drones,
They
couldn't.
can't.
Yeah.
They could-
Yeah.
Was it Nurk FPV flew his drone, tried to keep up one of those jet fighter radio controlled planes. He did.
Oh, that was cool.
That was a cool plane. I mean, he had to keep up when it was slow, but damn, that was a cool plane.
Yeah, sometimes you look at the thumbnails and you're like, "Is that a real plane?" And
Yeah.
then you see a dude in shorts standing next to it. Oh well, I guess it's either a real plane or he's a giant.
It was badass. Everything worked on it. Man, I wonder if the
They're
rocket
big.
launchers really worked. Was it really real rockets?
Oh sure, I always take the Hellfire missiles off of my Phantom before I
I
fly.
want some scaled down missiles. That'd be great fun.
Get on the no-fly list. That would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be a quick call from FAA, FBI, everybody. They'd all
Yeah. You get a visit from all the acronyms.
just okay. Here, cuff me and stuff me. I'm done.
My neighbors would come as a group this time instead of just one at a time.
Torch mob.
Pitchforks and all that. They'll tar and feather you.
My God, what are you doing over there at Chris's? What are you guys building?
Oh, well, it's done. Wow.
Oh, very.
I disarmed it today. I hit the ground really, really hard, and this arm came off.
Wow.
And luckily, he had another piece. But so this is the Super G frame, and so I'm actually. I'll tell you what I'm doing Monday. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to Nashville to meet a falconer, and the falconer wants me to follow their falcon with my falcon drone and see if I can get some cool falcon footage. It's going to be falcon awesome.
That would be fucking great.
Falcon
That is
A.
Falcon awesome.
Don't you falcon think so?
Yeah.
I really
Falcon A.
Here's the thing. I thought. Well, I wonder if I can slow down enough to keep up with the bird. Do you know how fast falcons can fly?
Oh yeah.
I think you do.
200 miles an hour or something crazy.
What?
Like 140 or something like way
No
faster
way.
than even my race drone can fly.
Now,
So-
is that only in a dive, or is that actually like just
That's
I
in a
think
dive.
in a dive. I don't know.
Yeah.
I googled it and it was impressive. But
because
I'm
that's close
going
to free fall. Like free fall velocity is around
yeah,
there.
terminal velocity is for humans is 100 and whatever. Anyway, so I'm meeting the
Yeah,
falcon.
120 or
lady.
something. Yeah.
And so I have to go and meet the bird first to get the bird used to me and the quad and
You
the
don't
noise.
piss it off.
Right.
Right.
So and to hopefully teach the bird that my drone isn't prey.
Yeah, that's
Well, that could
always
make
good.
that'll make for some
Right.
good footage, though.
Right. 'Cause he could turn the tables on me. I'd be chasing him, but then he decides, you know what? I've had enough of this, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, there you go.
That'd be some good footage
Does
right there.
does the
Run away!
noise
Run away!
does the noise affect them? They have better hearing than us, right? So I'm imagining.
Probably, yeah. I mean, they can get used to anything. If their trainer says this is cool, like they look to their trainer, like if the trainer doesn't react adversely to the noise. I flew it. I caught a drone sitting on top of a horse once.
Yeah, I remember that.
And the horse, even though the owner said, "Oh yeah, we fire guns around this horse all the time. You'll be fine with the drone." Well, the horse thought it was a bunch of bees.
Oh.
And so I'm grabbing for this. And
I remember that.
The horse took off, and I'm like, "Do I save myself or the drone?" And I was just like, "Whoa, Nelly!" It was terrible.
Wait, I remember that. I remember that footage.
Yeah,
You were crazy doing that. Yeah, the really nice trainer was with you too. She was like really cool about the whole
I
thing.
just remember thinking, I don't want to bust my ass while I'm wearing freaking overalls.
I want to get up a paraplegic like Christopher Reeves.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to believe it either, but
No,
anyway.
no.
So that'll be fun. So hopefully the bird gets
Ken here.
Oh, geez, our art took it there. All right. Well, hey, the drone doc has me fixed up again, so I'm going to get out of his hair because I'm out of town.
5-incher?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
That's what she said.
Yeah. I was waiting for.
You knew the joke was coming. He was just hanging on to it.
Oh, here comes Art in 5, 4, 3.
Yeah.
Thanks, you guys, for having me on. Good to see you.
It's
I'll
great
let you
to
know
see you, Ken.
if I
Nice
have
to
a
see you,
nice
Ken.
Falcon Day on Monday.
Cool.
Fly like
That'd
a
be
Falcon
cool to see.
champ.
Try and film it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. See you guys
Falcon
later.
boss.
Bye-bye.
Fly like a Falcon boss.
You guys going Falcon right. All right. See ya.
Falcon A.
Take care, man.
Hey, is that the one Chris Wedgeworth says he was sending you?
Yes, it was.
Oh man. Well, that was cool. He's in a good mood.
Well, I
He's
say
had a rough
hello
day,
to
too.
Akira Show, Rigor Mortis, Jim's Droning, Mr. JRC's, Matt Cundiff, and Bill Ronayne, and Bill from Coast to Coast Drones.
Oh, was Bill around? Why did I not see? Oh, I was so fixated on.
Tex Art Strong guy.
Yeah, and Michael. Yeah.
Yep.
And Joe Blaylock.
Joe's getting around today. I think I saw Joe on Geeks Fauna stuff earlier.
Yeah.
Right, Joe? Were you there? Thought you were.
Bill Ronayne, he was at the meetup too. I don't know if you remember him from there. Kind of quiet.
Yeah.
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 Chill.
Oh, and
Chill,
Michael
dude.
Blades. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Oh, and Jim, I want to thank you for giving me that great idea
Nice, Joe.
for being an ambassador to disabled people for drones.
Yeah, I would run with it. I mean, you know, you've had to put up with it your whole life.
Yep, yep.
I'm still transferring footage.
Oh my God. I don't know if YouTube's slowing down or what, but I had one that took 2 hours to upload and actually 2 days to hit 4K.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm actually transferring some of. We can tell him, right, Art? Art's coughing, so I can. Yeah, Art sent me a bunch of his old comedy tapes, and I'm transferring them digitally so that he can.
Oh, VHS?
They're high 8s, so a little better than Video 8, but better than VHS or standard 8mm stuff. But one of them's pitching a fit for me. It hasn't broken, but it doesn't want to play.
What software are you using to digitalize?
Just a little USB capture card. My regular capture card was made unfunctional by Windows 10 a few versions ago, which pissed me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
What
was a
I
really
was
awesome
going to ask you
graphics
is,
card.
I bought, because I have
It's,
some VHS.
It's
It wants me to plug into the back of a VHS.
It is this.
And
That
use
looks
this.
familiar. That looks like a familiar box to me right there. Maybe. Here,
The
look.
Elgato video capture? Is it
Yeah,
the
what do
same
you
one?
think? Are we not
Yes.
using? And Art
Yes.
has one also.
Yes, it's the same one.
It works fine. It works fine.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
You can't get anything higher than S video out of them anyway. So I'm using the S video out of the high 8 Sony deck or the Super VHS deck when I use that when I have to, and then. It's as good as it gets. It's not, 400 lines or something on a good day.
Yeah.
But it's still fine. It's still fine.
Yeah.
It's still fine.
Yeah, 480p.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
you know, it was great at the time. It kind of sucks now, but at least we have the stuff, and if art stuff will play, then
I keep seeing like Facebook puts up your memories from 15 years ago, and here I am with cell phone footage from oh my God, I don't know what it was. They were cell phones, not smartphones. So the cameras sucked. And this stuff is not even 480p. I mean, it's
3GP
terrible.
or 3GP or what was that format on Android? It was awful.
It's absolutely bad. It really is bad.
It is. It's pure crap.
Ooh,
it was like
here's
6
some
pixels.
high-end video right here.
And they're from my granddaughter. I kind of want to save them, man.
I have my niece ice skating when she was like 3 or 4, and the first few videos are that crap. So I'm still going to use them because I've been collecting all her stuff because now she's actually really, really good on the ice and she competes and stuff. So I want to do something for her when she turns 16, like put a piece together for like all the clips.
I was reading, film at the best you can ever film at with whatever you got.
Yes.
Film at its best and save that file. Just save that file. And if you're going to work on it and put it on YouTube or something, make a copy of it and then play with it. But save that damn original file for when technology catches up years later. VHS was 320 by 240. Oh, my God.
VHS? He meant VHS.
VHS.
But I know what Joe meant. But what about Super VHS? I thought that was 400 lines or something. Max.
Well, regular DVDs were 480p.
Yeah.
So that's 480 lines by I don't know how many wide.
No, but the progressive helped.
Yeah.
Instead of the interlaced crap. Look at the stuff we had to deal with. It was garbage. We thought it was great.
Now I'm sitting here. I had spent a ton of money like on that Sony Vietnam series. I have all the VHS tapes. It's a huge series. It's like $200. And it's like
crap.
Yeah. I don't know how else to put it now.
And then remember
It's
NTSC.
crap.
Perfect, man. Like epidemic sound. So like I lost my train of thought.
What the hell did I do to this
Squirrel.
camera?
Jim, you're slightly out of focus.
I know. I don't know what this can. He keeps telling me to go into the capture software ahead of time, and I keep forgetting to do that. Chuck, I mean.
Oh, somebody asked me how long it takes. It's 1 for 1. So 1 minute takes a minute, an hour takes an hour, 2 hours, 2 hours, yada, yada, yada. You can't do them fast because it's analog. You got to play real time.
I think I got to put this in.
NTSC. Never twice the same color is what they kiddingly called it because it was the shittiest system ever.
Okay, that's supposed to be 720.
Oh, much better.
That's 720p. I forgot to hit that part.
Ooh, that is better. Look, we can almost count every strand of hair in his mustache now.
Yep.
Yep. It's more like it, man.
And this is just the Logitech software going wide.
The Brio stuff? Are you using the Brio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about when you told me to use the capture. What's it called?
Logitech Capture?
Capture, yeah.
Yeah, it lets you mess around with it. But I'm using my wife's Sony A6600 tonight. So, with a Sigma 16 millimeter lens. F1.4.
That's a nice wide lens, yeah.
It's kind of too wide for this purpose, but it's good for everything else. So we're suffering with it tonight. But yeah.
Great for landscape, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it.
Like you were talking about. Why hold the phone like this when you can hold it like that?
Yeah, I don't understand, but I mean, it's it's
because in all your software you can always make this. If you wanted to use it for Twitter or something, you can always make it 1-to-1 in your software.
You can never get it back if you don't have this. If you don't have this to start,
right?
You can't get it back. You're done.
Right.
It's just like you said, Jim. My old TV was an Etch a Sketch.
You know, they make mini ones of that now. They make mini everything. It's like coming back as novelties, like the mini boombox.
Oh, isn't that cute?
I've got the mini shop vac. This damn thing actually works too, by the way.
That's the opposite of. I thought I was going to hear it run.
Full beat.
Oh, I hear it now.
Yeah, it works.
Floby,
It really sucks.
sucks cuts, sucka cuts, or whatever it was. Wayne's
Sue-
World.
I had a
cuts.
friend of mine whose mother used to do their hair with the Floby.
The Floby, yeah.
You hooked it up to your vacuum cleaner or something, didn't you?
I remember that.
Yep.
I still remember the Wayne's World joke on that thing, the suck cuts thing. Well, remember Think Big back in the 80s? Remember Think Big? It was the opposite of the small stuff, Jim. Everything was like 10 times as big. They had the spring lamp that was a floor lamp because it was like a desk lamp, but it was 10 times as big. It was down in New York City. You remember that place? Think Big?
No.
That's where the piano keys came from for I think.
Oh,
for
there's
Big,
the movie Big. Yeah.
That's what the piano that Tom Hanks and whoever were dancing on. Well, I think that was that
character actor from 100 movies. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
that was an FAO Schwartz, I think, where they filmed that though.
Yep, that's right.
FAO Schwartz. By the time I got the FAO Schwartz in New York City, it was already owned by Kate or was it Toy and Hobby? With who owned it?
KB?
Was it KB or was it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
guessing.
who had the giraffe? Who had the giraffe is the
Toys R Us.
Toys R Us bought them. Thank you. It was after my time. KB was before Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Where my Starsky and Hutch radio controlled Torino came from back in badass. I wish I still had the thing. It's probably worth like $300 and it was like $20 back in the 80s, which was like $300 now.
The actual Torinos and all that, they weren't as great as that show Starsky and Hutch.
No, they were pigs. They were
Yeah.
it was like a 19 my parents had a 1981 Oldsmobile Cutlass Supreme and it had this 4.3 V8 in it. What a pig.
Yeah.
That's when they got the term gutless. They couldn't get out of its own way.
You had a lot of cars with the old 318 engines in them, like the Ford Fury, Plymouth Fury.
Oh, yeah, the Interceptor 8. That was
You
the
could
Interceptor,
literally-
wasn't it? The
you could
318 was
literally-
that was the Bluesmobile's engine, remember? Didn't they had the 318 in there?
I don't know, but the 351 Clevelands were the big boys. The big
Wait,
blocks.
no. Maybe it was the Cleveland and the Ford?
The 351 Cleveland engine. It was the big block. The
Well, then
Plymouths
that
were
was a
using
Ford.
the 318.
Yeah, that was a Mopar, but I thought the Cleveland was the Ford motor. And then there was the Flathead.
The Cleveland was Ford. In fact, when
Yeah.
they first came out with that the Mach 1 Camaro, people used to rent them and put roll bars in them, weld them in, and take them out to the track. I mean, Shelby Ford, or it wasn't Shelby, the maker, the designer, who was the anyway. He said they used to come back to the car rental places where you could see underneath the carpet where they had welded in the roll bars and stuff. It was funny.
Bill says, yeah, Cleveland was a Ford. Mike B had a Dodge Charger with a 360 in it. Yeah.
The Cadillacs,
Okay.
the old Cadillacs had 496s in
Yep,
them.
490s. Yep.
So I think the Ford was the Interceptor 8, I think.
That was the Eldorados that had those. Or the Series 62.
That's when they used to make the police engines. They would just put the deeper oil pans on them and stuff. And they used to hold like 8-10 cans quarts
Yeah,
of
keep
oil.
them cool. Let them
Yeah.
run cooler. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What's
man.
he
Well, the
saying?
police used to they needed the car to be faster. They didn't have the radio yet. Now they have Motorola to keep up with everybody. And
NTSC was the standard broadcast. Yes.
yep, never twice the same color.
Lon Denard.
That caddy with a
Had a caddy
501.
with the 50. Wow.
Which one?
He's
I
got
had
his
the
Cadillac on.
I had the 76. I don't know. They used to call them Deluxe Supremes, whatever the hell they called them. You remember all the names they used to try and beat themselves with? The Sedan DeVille, Deluxe Supreme, the Eldorado.
Coupe de Ville.
Yeah.
Eldorado.
Yep.
Toronado for Oldsmobile.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Oldsmobile.
Then there was the Ranchero and the
the Ranchero. That was the ripoff of the El Camino.
Yes.
Yep, the El and the Ranchero was started off as a Falcon.
Oh my God, did it?
What the El Camino start off as? Was that a Monte Carlo that they converted? What the hell was that thing based
No,
on?
I think it was more like a
The later one was based on a Monte Carlo, I think. The
Impala.
one they did in the 80s. Was
The
it an
Impala.
Impala?
Yep. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, Bill says the Cleveland was Ford's. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I don't know. I thought the 351 Cleveland was
A
Chevy.
572.
Who made the Camaro?
Chevy.
Chevy.
Of course. I'm a Chevy guy.
Yeah.
And he's saying the 351 was Ford? The Nova.
No go.
No, yeah.
It's a joke. It's a joke. I had a friend who bought a Nova down at a barn in South Carolina, and they towed it back up to Syracuse, and it had no motor in it. It was painted in the barn down in the Carolinas. It was pretty rough, but they put like a big block in that thing.
That was not a good looking vehicle, the Nova.
Oh, this thing was faster than hell when they were done with it.
Now, the Chevy Impalas were long, heavy vehicles.
Yes, they
Yeah.
were. They were a boat. My
Yeah.
folks had a '69
Oh, the
Impala.
Regal.
That was their painting vehicle.
The 78 Regal had the V6 with the turbo. I thought the Grand National came out in like '84, if I recall. That was
305, 396, 400s were Chevys. Okay. You remember when they used to have the saying, big as a Buick? I don't know, Chuck.
No.
You're too young. You're too young.
Maybe not. I don't remember that though.
Back in
Big
the
as a-
old days, I mean, I grew up a child of the 60s. So these cars were 7,000 pounds,
Yep.
and they had to have these big engines to even move the damn car. You know, they didn't
Yeah.
have seat belts.
Yep.
You survived a crash by killing the other guy.
That's why.
Welcome to ArtCo Drone Solutions and Car Show.
Here we go. Sorry, Art. Well, the Phil Collins has that nice scar. We talked about this before, maybe on here. He has a scar because he ate a dashboard when his parents were in a car accident. He was in the back seat and ate the dash, the metal dash.
I remember in the old days when we used to steal our parents' car when they went to sleep. We would climb out the windows. You know, we had a ladder up on the side of the house. We used to climb down, steal the car. But in those days, you could drive in reverse
Yep.
to take the mileage off the odometer.
Oh, the old Ferris Bueller trick.
Yes.
Or they put it up on jack stands and ran it back.
We put them up on cement
worked.
blocks. We
Nice.
weren't as dumb as that. But then they came out with that law with the odometers, you can't turn back and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we used to get away with it because my father used to say, I know what that odometer says. All right.
Just drive it backwards all the way back. Now, wouldn't that make for a good video now? You imagine?
I don't think people would understand the stuff.
No,
we had
I mean,
to go
if you could film stuff then like you could now back in the day, it'd be hilarious. Yeah, Bueller, right, Lon?
leaning on that car.
Bueller.
Oh my God.
Bueller.
I think everybody who watched that movie said, oh, when that happened.
Oh, and they kicked the car. He kept kicking the hood and went out through the back of the. Yeah, it's hard to watch.
Yeah.
And I feel for Bueller's that was Cameron's dad because I'd be like Cameron's dad with my Corvette now. I'd be like really bad, like don't touch it, just leave it alone. You don't appreciate it now, you will someday.
Hey, Jody.
Hey, Jody.
I had a friend who had the fiberglass Corvette. They were gonna fix it. You know when that project comes and you take it all apart, and it just never gets put back together again.
I have two friends that successfully did that on two different vehicles. One was it a 76 VW Bug? This kid next door to me, this guy Jimmy Gabriel, he had the whole thing stripped down. He had to make wiring harnesses for it and everything. I mean, the car was in pieces in his dad's garage for like a year. And then that other dude I was telling you about, the guy with the Nova, well, his friend had the Nova, he bought a Datsun B210 and it was a rotted out piece of crap. And he fiberglassed up all the holes and painted it in his dad's garage with a compressor and everything and built that thing from the ground. That took 2 years to get that car done.
I had the
But did it,
ugliest
though.
looking car that I made into a good one. It was Lon might remember. I don't know if he does or not. The Ford. It was the Dodge Coronet. Not a good looking vehicle.
No.
But I threw a 383 in it, and I had the Hearst double pumper, the 4-barrel, and this thing would kick ass. I mean, you could go around turns. These were the days when you could go around turns in your car and get it up on 2 wheels and hold it there. There ain't a car left that can do that anymore. I mean, I don't know.
Hey, all right. Let's welcome all the way from Lipa City, Philippines. It's James, my PI Dreams. But before we go on a tangent with James, it is that time. It's the top of the hour. It is time to give away toffee.
Yes.
All right.
Did you say coffee?
Between 1
Coffee or
and
toffee?
50, and the winner will get a box of Enstrom's almond toffee.
All right. I'm going to jump out and let you give this away. Thanks for letting me come on. Nice talking to you guys.
Hey, thanks.
Jim, take care, man.
Jim.
Hey.
Good to see you.
Catch you later, Jim.
Keep your shiny side up.
You're-
Oh, he's already out.
All right,
Just like
we'll
that.
give those folks a few minutes to pick a number, and then we'll get going, and we'll talk about cars. We may even talk about, I don't know, fertilizer or what's going on in the Philippines.
Well, I hate that Jim took off because I heard him talking about big blocks, Coronet, because I used to have a Coronet, a Dodge Coronet. So I was kind of hoping to get in on that conversation.
I don't know why
you know this.
Mike D, you can only pick one number.
Oh, we have some double pumpers.
Yeah, double dippers. Yeah.
Look at Mike B going. He has like 6 or 7 going right now.
Yeah, he does. And Lori, okay, Lori.
Oh, she's in the 40s this time. She's going for the winning number range. Remember that when everything came up in the 40s a couple weeks back?
I know the last 3 weeks they've all been in the 40s.
Yeah, and the chat is on that.
Yeah.
Except for me and Lon, we're both picking. Oh, Mike's first number is 11. That's when he's got to stick with.
Okay.
No second chances.
All right, we'll give it.
I get all Mike's extra numbers, so if Mike's extra numbers come up, I get the toffee as punishment. Nobody's laughing. Damn it all.
Alrighty, so let's share the screen. And we'll share audio. We'll get the prize wheel. Make sure that we got it going. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to spin the wheel of toffee. Okay,
the wavy thing going. Wow, little wavy thing going.
Suspense.
48. No way. Let's see.
48.
We got 37. Green Fox has got 46. 43, 44. I think
Lori's got 45.
Yeah, but 46 is in there up earlier, unfortunately, for Lori. But good for Green, or Gene Fox Green. Mountain Droning has 46. I don't see anything closer.
Oh, that's right. All right, Gene. Send me an email with your address.
When did Bill's 48 come in? After, I'm sure. Yeah. You guys. Everybody in the chat, so funny.
And Gene, my email is colokid1960@gmail.com. Hola.
I'll get it.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning po, Nagkata.
Yeah, magandang umaga.
Sir, magandang umaga. Sir, I'm already here in Santa Maria Gate.
Okay, yeah, we're here. You can stop by. We're here.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
All right, maganda. Yeah, salamat.
We need some closed captions so we can figure out what the hell they're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a Lazada delivery. I told you we get Lazada, and I'm sure it's Ness. She orders stuff all the time, so every day, like three
James,
times a day.
what is ingot?
No,
it's
not
a block of gold.
It's okay. I got to tell you, because if you say ingot, they're not going to know
anything.
They're not going to know what you say over here. When it's ingot, it's ingot. It's like ingot. This is anyway. That means stay safe. So you're hearing that.
Okay.
You're hearing that a lot lately with when people come and they drop off a delivery, and as they're leaving, you tell them to be safe. Be safe when you're leaving with the COVID.
If I say that to an American, they're going to punch me in the face. Ingot.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Picking on other languages.
Hey, Ness, you got a delivery coming.
Yeah. You're supposed to say, woman, delivery coming.
Mom, telephone.
Yes.
Gotta love the live streaming.
And then Lori comes upstairs and punches me and then walks away.
Are we like on a pause here, or are you waiting to do something?
No, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were hanging out. Oh,
we already did the.
I wasn't coming in this morning because we actually have to be downtown, and I'll tell you a little story about why we have to be downtown just a little bit. We were going to prepare here, and take off, but then there's so many things that happen in the background, like one of my neighbor that's going to move in. He's one of the first things he does in the morning when on your show. He says, "Are you going to be on the art show today?" Because he likes being on your show, and I told him this morning. I said no. I said we have to prepare because we have to go downtown. He said, "Oh," I said, "But we're watching it. We're watching it, and because we put you on in the background while we're cooking." And that brings us to the second part of what I wanted to get in this morning was I think Chuck and I have this secret psychic connection going on, and that's what Ness said to me this morning, because every Sunday morning is what is it here at Villa Feliz?
Waffles,
pancakes.
Waffle Sunday morning, and we've never said pancakes before. We've never said pancakes before. So. Here, let me, and then Chuck said something this morning. Chuck said something, and I said, "My God, there must be a psychic connection going on here," because, and that's what Ness said. She said, "What's going on with the two of you?"
I like pancakes. That's what's going on. All that's going on was I like pancakes.
That is the first Sunday morning. This is the first time ever here that I've ever done pancakes on Sunday.
That reminds me.
And actually, I said that meant that was a calling for me to come in just for a few minutes this morning.
Well, Lori and I are going to be in the Catskills soon, and when we run our VRBO, I have to make sure we have plenty of pancake mix because that's one of my.
Well, we don't do pancakes on Sunday. We do, of course, it is our waffle.
Pancakes are good every day.
But we have two particular pancake waffle mixes that we buy here all the time in the grocery store or online, but neither one of them were available online. So Ness bought this weird brand. I think it's called the White King. It's called the White King. That's the brand. That's the brand name, the White King. And we made waffles with it last Sunday, and they were horrible. They were lumpy. They cheat you. They cheat you in the box. The box, all the box mixes come usually with 2 packages inside there, and 1 package is enough to do usually 6 waffles for us. Well, that one, something was wrong because I know when I put the same amount of water in there that I do for the other waffles, it was really watery. So they didn't have as much of the flour mixture inside there. So we said today we're going to try pancakes with it, see if it works better with pancakes. Okay, so that's that story. Not that interesting, but I thought Art would find it interesting. I knew Chuck was going to fall asleep in the background on that one.
I was actually translating some of this binary crap that Hot Rod put up because I was turning binary into decimal. So, just because.
Oh, so
it didn't work. It didn't work. Well, it did work.
One of the reasons we're going into town today is something that everybody needs to be aware of, and I'm sure Gerard, who's watching right now from Ontario, Canada, who's going to be moving here, is something you really need to consider: some type of electrical AC voltage monitoring and conditioning. Last week, we had our 70-inch TV that we have down in the Tiki Bar downstairs went out on us. Right after a power outage that we had here, and as you probably know, or if you don't, you're going to find out right now that the voltage, the electricity in the Philippines is not the best electricity in the world.
Kind of dirty.
It's dirty, and it's not so reliable in certain places. And we're in one of those places that's not so reliable.
You got a line conditioner or something? How do you?
So what we're doing, today we're going down. We're going to look at something called we had it's a Samsung television, and unfortunately the way Murphy's works and the way things always seem to happen.
Murphy's Law. The corollaries thereof.
We just went out of the warranty phase, so when they came and looked at it, we have to pay. Now, something also I want to share with you: the difference between the Philippines and the rest of the world is for Samsung, the warranty for televisions in the rest of the world is 3 years. 3 years for 95% of their models. 3 years. In the Philippines, for those same TVs, it's only 12 months.
Because of your dirty power, they know. Probably like a bazillion claims for a while and said, "Yeah, we know how to take care of that."
Yeah, probably that's what happened. So anyway, and normally what goes bad over here, because we've had it already on 2 TVs, and on one of the TVs we've had it twice, because we did a video.
Morse code.
And yes, somebody's at the front gate.
Mom, telephone.
Hold on a second, guys. I'll be right back. I'll finish that story.
Okay. Oh, well, thank you, Bill. I pronounce this.
That's good, man. Good man. Sword, I was serious about the motion controller. We were talking about that this morning, remember? Yeah. I mean, what if you could get a mount for it so that you could put it on the wheelchair or something and be able to use it more like
that would be
a flight controller, and then you only need, because what if you can't support it like this?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be something to look into.
E-drones to have them toss around.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of putting that in a carbon fiber frame, though. That's been on my mind from the beginning, because I always thought that would be the weakness of the drone, and it is. It's just really fragile.
Yeah.
Flies like a champ, though, when you don't hit anything.
Yeah. Well, Sean Oz and Ken Dono seem to like it.
It's a nice drone. It's just fragile. Seriously, it's just fragile. That's it. I know people that they just buy parts because they figure they're going to need parts for it, and they're just prepared to do some soldering, as I think Keith said this morning.
Soldering.
We had fun this morning.
Yeah, I was on Chuck's show earlier this morning, and his partner Keith Sycamore was talking about soldering it, and I piped in and I said,
"Good British guy."
What was that word? I wanted to hear him say methane.
Yes, it's funny. But we had a really good time this morning. I'm glad Art showed up, and we had Aldrin from Flight Path that was a good surprise. Aldrin came in, and we had
Mhm.
808 from the Big Island of Hawaii. That was cool.
Yeah.
We were just
Well, that
doing
was
it for
great
National
that
Drone-
he got that drone working after it soaked
After it got
overnight
soaked.
by the post office.
Yeah, wasn't that nice of him? And how would Ken Dono know he needed to wrap it in cellophane, like the methane? Yes,
Yeah,
methane.
hmm
Yeah, Lon, good one, man. That's right. I think Lon was on this morning, wasn't he?
about aluminium.
Aluminium. I love saying that now.
Yeah.
I say that all the time. Went out to check. I have this magnet mount for a camera for my vehicle. And I went out to the truck and I was like, I think my hood is made of aluminium. And I got there. Sure
Hey,
enough.
let's
No
welcome
sticky
our
fingers.
next panelist, all the way from the land down under. He's
Come from a land down
by
under.
drone. Greg, welcome,
Yeah.
welcome. Good to
Did
see you.
someone incorrectly pronounce aluminium again?
Oh, it's aluminium. Aluminium.
Anyway,
Oh, no applause. No applause, please. 10s and 20s only.
I've got the new toy. I've got my new toy.
We hear that.
Oh, and
Yeah.
what'd you get?
Um,
The Air
let me-
2S?
He has the Ken Heron 2S. Oh, I saw those on. I almost bought one of those on eBay. Yep. Yeah, they're very cool. You can find them on eBay for about half what they cost new.
Yeah.
Pretty
Which
cool
is where I
device.
got mine on eBay.
Yeah.
Is
Very
that
cool device.
Is that like video switching? Is that like a
That's a soundboard.
What is,
Soundboard.
Yeah.
what is that?
Oh.
You're gonna give us a
what
you're gonna give us a
brand
demo,
is that,
Greg?
Greg?
Well,
just
that
did.
was a couple of demos, but you guys just quacked me up.
Oh, it's for audio.
Oh, no, Keith had something they used an iPad with to do like a pseudo soundboard, and it was just like you, Greg. I had to go ahead, wear out the novelty. It'll be fine. We'll wait.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Okay.
no. I'm not going to wear out the novelty. Trust me, I haven't loaded too many up onto it yet. So,
No, it's a really cool device. It'll be a lot of fun for sure.
yeah.
Well, Greg. I didn't think you would bring it. Art. I know Art does all these really weird things with the voice and the stuff like that. But your show is so structured. I said no. I didn't think Greg would ever be able to bring something like
No,
that
water.
onto a show. So I'm proud of you, man. You're growing.
I think it's cool. Well, it'll be used in a
having
structured
fun.
manner. It'll be proper.
Of course.
Aluminium.
Look, all I can say to that is I've got to put you out of your misery.
Missed.
Oh, well. Anyway,
So
how's
anyway,
everyone going?
Good. I just wanted to go back in before I got disrupted by Lazada right here. The AVR, the automatic voltage regulator, and Greg, I don't know, because you got family over here. I don't know if they have that in their house. And you're probably where you're at because your family's up by Cavite, right? Cavite area. Yeah, they
Close
probably
to
are on
Toronto.
Morelco, I think is what they have up
Yeah,
there or whatever.
yeah.
And we have Bottleneck. And I think Morelco is. I talk to people and they're like, it's so stable. It depends. I guess it depends on where you're at. But most of them are really happy with the service where they're at. But here, here we have outages every couple of weeks, and a lot of the
pretty much the
outages.
same on Morelco.
Yeah, but we I don't know if you were in earlier. Heard we had it affects your electronics miserably when you have these unstable electrical, when you have dirty electricity, and when you have surges from power outages, whether the power is going out or coming back on again. And we just experienced this is our third time from a brownout, and that's one TV. It happened twice, and that was a small TV, so we weren't really worried about that. One of it fell under warranty. But our 70-inch TV down in our bar downstairs, the whole screen went out. And if there's something to do, we have QLED upstairs on the first floor, and downstairs we have just regular high definition, high resolution LED. And we've never had the problem with the QLED, so I'm wondering if it has something to do that LED screens are more sensitive than QLEDs, because we've already had three outages on LEDs here in the house.
LEDs.
and the QLED we haven't had any
There's
issues
just
from
more
any
of
brown
them.
ends.
There's just the
Nothing
matrix
to do with
is
it. All to
tighter.
do with the power supply.
It's
all to
just
do
the
with the power
electronics
supply.
the electronics.
You got
were
your 240 coming in, and it's not going to be using 240 throughout the TV set. So
stepped
it's got a
down.
power supply, stepping it down to whatever voltages it's using internally, and you've just got a better power supply in that one.
Hey, Ness.
But there's really no line conditioner in there, is there, Greg? I mean,
Phone.
if you have dirty power coming in, you're gonna have lower voltage that's dirty coming out the other side, unless you have some electronics to kind of clean it up along the way.
Yeah.
So,
But
probably
the
just
other
something
thing
to
is,
stresses
the
them.
other thing is you've got some changeovers and transfers to local generators, and depending on if you've got a transfer switch, which you've talked about before, and it's doing that changeover, especially during spinning up the generator, it's going to be very dirty power during that changeover. So a lot of people tend to do some power filtering on the output of the generator, more so than your mains in, from what I've seen. Not specific to Philippines, but power in general.
Well, I know our old generator. We have no generator anymore. Our generator is sitting off of the generator pad. So when we experienced this last outage, we have no generator. And for our generator, when it kicks in, it doesn't apply voltage to the internal grid inside the house until after it's come on, it's stabilized, and then it knows that it's good power and it goes inside the grid. It doesn't automatically kick right in. It waits. That's part of what the ATS does. It monitors that voltage. It has a sensing system on the inside. So the last outage that we had that killed our 70-inch downstairs was generator wasn't even in there. And unfortunately, every time, I don't understand Samsung technology, but every time they've come for everything, it's always been, your screen is bad. And the screen, according to them, is 90% of what your television cost is. So when they do the replacement, it's almost the same cost it's almost the same as going down and buying a brand new TV. Because I did one video on the Samsung repair, doing a warranty repair. I wanted to show what type of warranty repair you get here in the Philippines from Samsung. And they came out and you see inside, and there's nothing inside the case. There's a small computer board in there, very small.
And the power supply.
There's a power supply, the board, and the rest of it is the screen. And that's what went bad the first time on our small TV. It went again on the small TV, and it went out on our 70-inch LED down in the basement.
But again, the comment is that you've your power supply inside your other one that's not going out is able to filter that or manage that to a better extent.
And it could be because the QLED technology it's on their most expensive TVs that they have. So I'm sure they use the best components inside there as well. So I agree with you that it's probably got a higher quality power supply on the inside. So what we're doing to mitigate, and the guy even recommended, and I knew it when we built here, and it's what some people do on everything inside their house. They have these huge AVRs, they're the automatic voltage regulators, and you can put that on your entire house, but it has to be extremely high on the wattage to be able to handle everything. Or what some people do on sensitive equipment like computers or expensive like a 70-inch TV, they'll put an individual AVR. The wall goes to the AVR, the AVR plugs goes to the TV. So that's what we're going to do when we get this one repaired, our one down in the basement. So you just look at what the wattage is on your TV and you get something a little bit above that wattage.
Yeah, we don't call them AVRs. I can't remember what they call them in Australia. But anyway.
Here they're automatic voltage regulators, and you can pick them up like at Ace Hardware, or they have them at some of the big box stores like McKilling or Wilcon. Oh, so let's get back for a moment. I know everybody's here because this is the drone channel here. I want to show you what I've been doing with my drone. I have another picture I want to share with you. I found a really good use for the drone. I make the drone work, and so that I don't have to work so much. Not that I don't need to work doing the walking and everything like that, but One of the things, one of my responsibilities here where we live is I'm on the board of directors. So I took
Still in
on the
one piece.
challenge. Yeah, I I took on the challenge. We have a problem.
Sorry.
We have a problem with our clubhouse swimming pool, and when I went with the pump went out on it, it burned up, not from a voltage problem, but from I don't think it was used properly. But anyway, so when I went down and inspected the pump house, I also inspected the swimming pool, and I talked about this on other videos about me changing the level because the pool is not level, and I put a higher overflow pipe on there so we could put more water inside the swimming pool to be able to use some of the features inside there. But when I did the inspection, I got to show you this picture. Let me show you the picture, and then I'm leading up to this. But what I'm doing is I'm using the drone instead of me walking to the other side of the subdivision. Every day I have to do an inspection because I have maintenance people working on it. And this is the swimming pool. When I went over there and I looked, I'm like, I don't think this is supposed to be a white swimming pool. And that what you see on the bottom there is all like calcium and lime and scale. That's scale deposit.
Really? But look how it's deposited in such an interesting.
So you can see the blue. You see the blue tile. The blue tile is the area where I have the maintenance team cleaning now, and they're chipping. They're literally chipping off like little chipping things instead of using a descaler. They're manually chipping off.
Can you use a sonic cleaner like they use on your teeth now?
I don't
know, like
be honest,
water jet.
Yeah, water jet. That's what I was thinking, Greg. Something like that. It'd be awesome.
This stuff is so hard
because
I went down there,
like a scuba from underneath there.
I went down there and I started chipping it, and it is so thick. I got more pictures, but I won't bore you with some of the other pictures.
Fill it with lime oil, it'll be fine.
But there's a tremendous.
Vinegar.
So anyway, the whole key point here is not to show you the condition of our swimming pool that we're in the
quantities afterwards.
But what I'm doing is I'm employing the drone to do the work for me because I have to do a daily report back to the board of directors on where we are in the progress.
So I go do a mission and take a picture every day from the same exact spot.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Sweet.
You've got a saved waypoint mission?
No, I'm not using that because it's in the subdivision. I thought
that'd be cool. Just have it pop up.
That's what I'm saying.
Take the picture, click, and then come back down.
Press the execute button every single day, and you don't.
You could time lapse it.
You could time lapse it then, yeah.
It'd be badass, and just show the pool getting cleaner and cleaner, like the tiles.
I've never used that function on the DJI. I have to play
for it if you have.
There you go.
Or you can do a waypoint.
Actually,
if you have waypoints, you could still use waypoints. You just have to fly it once and then save it, and then do it over and over and over and over.
Let's talk about the muriatic acid. Because I use the muriatic. I use the muriatic acid. That's my pH stabilizer, and that's what pretty much everybody around the world uses. There's different. It comes by different names, but really, muriatic acid is what makes sure when your pool is too alkaline. Which makes your chlorine not work when you put the chlorine in. You put the muriatic acid inside or a pH balancer, and it brings it down. That allows your chlorine to work properly, but it also helps with cleaning the tile. It helps with the.
And you put the acid in, and it's all bubbling away.
Let me tell you a consequence. If you do not do it properly, if you don't do it to the proper diluting and things, there's a method to do this, and I'll tell you because I just did it on my pool. I tried using the muriatic acid because my water, from the water level down to the floor, it's perfect. The tiles have no buildup because I'm real particular about making sure that the balance is correct, the pH and the chlorine. Everywhere where the water touches it with the correct balance is great, but where it splashes on the top, everything on the top, right along that little rim underneath the coping inside there, the pebble rock coping, you'll see it looks like the calcium built up and then dirty things that sometimes you maybe even find like on your toilet bowl or your sink in your kitchen, if you have hard water. So I tried using the muriatic acid, and you have to be really careful.
Be careful of that stuff. Yeah.
You have to be very careful. I'm not on a personal basis, so that for safety. But I'm talking about you can actually do damage to your tiles, because I noticed in a couple of places that I use it on where I did it too strong, it's actually starting to affect the brand new tile that we have inside there. So there's a
Hitting
method.
it or
I don't know.
something?
Yeah, I don't know the method. So for those who have not done that before, or not professionals, and really haven't done their research, I recommend not doing it until you know, or you have the professionals. Hi, Margie. How's
Sir
everybody?
Greg Durchuk, what?
Hello, Margie. Hello, ¿cómo está? Yes, I have a Filipino partner as well. I'm not living in the Philippines, but I've got a big Filipino connection. So, ¿cómo está?
So, James, do you have any more awesome bird pictures for us?
Actually, I don't, but I'm going to try to get it for you. So that bluebird that I showed you, that very special bird with the long beak on there, he has found a partner, and the two birds sit in our front yard, and they sit on the top electrical line on our front yard. And what they do almost every day, and it's usually a couple times a day. It's really odd. They sit. We have a big like a picture window on a staircase going up from our first floor to our second floor, and I think during a certain time of the day it looks like a mirror. It's like bronze, but I think if you're at their level it looks like a mirror, and they see a reflection of themselves inside there. And there's a certain time of day I keep hearing crash.
Ooh.
Crash. And what they're doing, I think maybe they're territorial. And what they're doing is they're trying to shoo away that bird that they see, and it's slamming against it inside the window. And what I want to do, I want to set up the GoPro up there when that event happens, so not for so that you can see them crashing their head into the window.
That's the best part.
But I want to put it on. I want to put it on, like on 120 frames per second in slow motion, and get a real. I think it would be great to have a good. So, because I have no close-ups of them, and I don't have those. I use the GoPro. The GoPro sucks on the digital zoom, and those other kind of cameras,
Like
like
if you glass, you're gonna get them close for sure.
Like if you get a Canon or a Nikon or something like that, you can use the or whatever. What Anyway, those professional cameras, you can, with the zoom, you can use the zoom, you can put the zoom lens adapters on there, and you can get some really good pictures. I want to do that sometime because the wildlife in the Philippines are incredible. We have things I've never seen in North America I would like to capture some of these. But yeah, I want to get that on. I want to see a real slow motion, high frames per second of the bluebird approaching. I probably won't show the crash. But just to capture the bird, I think it would be cool.
Yeah, but do go and set up a mission to go and take that. Use Litchi maybe, because you're a little bit more flexible with the programming you can do in that.
Yeah, you guys talked about Litchi, I think last time.
Last time cool. I've only used it a couple of times.
We didn't go into depth. We didn't talk about because I don't think I really grasped what Litchi does for you. What's the?
It's just another control app instead of DJI Go 4, but it's got more programmability in terms of setting up a mission. You tell it, okay, ascend, go over, get to that point, let it hover there and stabilize for 10 seconds or whatever you want to make sure you've got it absolutely perfect, and do a bomb shot photo and then go home. It'll just go and do all that with one press of a button.
You'll create a mission, and then you can rerun that same exact mission over and over.
Correct.
You get new footage every single time you're on the mission. I was supposed to do that at the Amazon building that's been going up for the last year, and I was too lazy to do it, and it would have been epic and probably got a bazillion views. But it's a great application for Litchi, and don't get it from Google, get it from the Amazon store, because with the Amazon store you can load it on any device, and you can load.
So can you install that on the DJI Smart controller? Can you put it in there?
I have it on mine, but I haven't used it since I first got the Smart controller 2 years ago. It's a resource hog, isn't it, Greg?
Well, I use iOS, so I don't know what it's like on.
I thought some guys were saying Litchi was kind of bogged down with the Smart controller recently.
Well, I don't know
don't
about
know.
the smart controller.
I haven't tried it recently, but it will load on there.
Because on a smart controller, everything's DJI loads everything. So as soon as you turn,
Sorry, the birds. Sorry.
hey Lloyd, I was hoping I'd catch Lloyd. You need to get Lloyd in on your show here now and then, Art. He's a funny guy. He should be in the background with us.
he is.
He's always there on Greg's place. So good to have him here now and then. Anyway, getting back to the smart controller in the Lychee, because on the smart controller, when you turn it on, it defaults to the DJI software. So I'm wondering, how do you exit DJI Go or whatever it is that they use on there and go over to Lychee?
You don't need to start the drone with DJI Go on the smart controller. You could start it with Lychee. Go into
Yeah,
Lychee
it's just
and
another app.
Yeah, it's just another flight control. Well, it's a flight controller app basically, like Greg said.
On what device? What type of device do you install it on?
Well, I have all Android, but the trick is, since like the smart controller it's not Google certified, so you could sideload the Amazon App Store onto anything that's Android, and then you can install. You have to pay for Lychee. It's like $25 US or something. But if you buy it on Amazon, you can install it on any one of your devices that you can load the Amazon store on and install the app from that. So you're not limited to Google use.
So I mean, can you put it like on an iPad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Okay, that's something I'll
But
look into.
if I imagine you get the Amazon, can you get the Amazon store on iOS? That I don't know.
No, well, you just get it from App Store.
I guess that's fine for anything that is Apple.
Well, he said an iPad.
Yeah.
iPads,
But I mean, if all your stuff is Apple, then that's fine because you don't have to pay for it twice. That's awesome.
I kind of took a shot. I kind of took a shot at you, Chuck, but I addressed it to my wife. The video that went live this morning, or was published this morning at 6:15.
Oh, there's a new
a.m.
one?
our time.
Yeah.
It was. So it was 6. Oh, you're on the East Coast, Chuck. So it'd be 6:15 p.m. Yeah, just before the show. You were probably setting up for the show, so you didn't get to see it. I tried to at least do one video a week. I keep a live video, and that's what I did for the one that posted this morning about 2 hours ago. And on that one, my opening scene was right here on the back porch. And every morning, my wife, we have breakfast right here, just like we had waffles or pancakes this morning. Mm-hmm. And I always have my Mac, and she has her Windows. And on the back, because on the back of all Macs, they have the Apple logo on there, and she has the Windows, whatever the Windows laptop is, the new one, and it's got the little Windows. We put the and I think my opening remark was, "Can you guess whose is the Mac and which is the Windows on there?" Because I know it would be no problem. I know between you and me, I know everybody would know whose is the Mac and whose is the Windows.
I don't know. Mine's Windows, but it's not a Mac. It's an HP.
Oh, it's an HP.
Yep, a little HP for travel.
So, Chuck, how are we doing on the download there?
I had to stop. This tape wasn't working, and I didn't want to. We started the stream, so we'll have to wait. We'll have to come back to that one and try one of the other 3 that remain out of the 5.
Oh,
I don't know why that one won't play at all. So
while we're talking about your downloads, because I think you're converting some stuff for art. That Elgato device that you have, I was actually looking into that because I wanted to do the same thing, but I think there was an issue. There was the reason I didn't buy it. And I think it had something to do with because I think it doesn't work right on the Mac. I think
I thought it was Mac compatible. There's software on their site you can download
device?
for either.
We have to look, but when I was looking, and I did the reviews, we have to take a look at it. There was a reason why I did not buy it. There was a reason I didn't buy it.
Focus on it. I don't think I can.
Can I give you a different device to maybe get?
What's that?
I've got a $15 HDMI into Mac USB, and I've got separately from eBay something from composite video to HDMI.
That's what he needs. He needs to go from
You get
composite
those
to...
two things together, and it's like $15 plus $15, and the picture is absolutely awesome. It's better than a lot of those other devices you pay hundreds of dollars for.
Well, this wasn't very expensive, but is that, Greg? Is that SVHS? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
S video. S video. I meant the S video connector out from your composite, because that's about as
So,
good as it gets from composite.
Yeah. So this was composite video, but you can find devices that do the same thing out of the old SVHS connector as well.
Because the S video connector is higher. Well, it's split out
Yeah.
more than the RCA. This is the yellow RCA.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have Chuck. I think I have what you have, because I have the old Sony Hi8. That's my camera. We talked about that before.
That's the deck I'm using is a Sony Hi8 deck. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a deck. I have a deck and the camera.
I'm gonna have to run the cleaning tape through again. I had to do that with mine a few times. I think one of Art's tapes crapped it up, so I have to try it again.
Well, Art does a lot of things. He affects all sorts of appliances in weird ways. Just look at his drones.
Oh, it's old tapes. Old tapes shed. Old tapes shed a lot of
What was the brand? What was the
material.
brand on the tapes that Art sent you? Were they like Kmart brand or something like that?
Kmart brand, I think. Yeah. No, actually they're respectable. They're TDK HSs. I have a bunch of these too.
TDK is good. Yeah, TDK.
Maxell,
Maxell, TDK.
But still, I mean the media they're so old that the media starts
It's not
to come loose.
TDK. It's crap.
There you go. Yeah. I'm just gonna set that on a really strong magnet. You don't have any problem with that, right, Art? That'd be fine.
Go for it.
I'm not gonna go there. Nope, not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent.
Anyway, I just popped in to say hello for a little bit. I'm going to get back to looking at all of the files I'm going to load onto my new toy.
Hey Greg, before you leave, I know you've talked before, and we talked a little bit about it in this show last week. I don't think you were here last week, so we didn't get a chance to address it with you. I don't know if I think somebody said you're a sponsor. You're a sponsor for one or two companies that have to do. I think we were specifically talking about no limit drones,
No
limit
drones.
No limit drones.
Yeah.
No limit drones. What's your take on that? Their software and their credibility, and what's your take on that?
So the genesis of No Limit Drones, there was a bunch of people who hacked all of the DJI infrastructure, the software, all of that kind of stuff. And I'm just going to put it in the private chat if someone could post it into YouTube, because I'm not logged in. If someone posts that is where all of the raw tricks and hacks came from. Right?
Where does this
And
need
then
to go? Where do you want us to
Sorry?
share this?
DJI.retroroms.net, I think it is. Let me check, make sure it's right.
Yeah, I got your link.
Control-V.
No, that's not it. Try DJI.retroroms.info. My bad.
This would be some KGB website or something.
the dark net.
Calling Russian coming up. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, that's the one. So DJI.retroroms.info is one of my sites. And it's a wiki site where all of the information about how to hack into your DJI drone is stored. This is if you want to do it yourself without paying any money and you want to go faster than the maximum limit, for example, there's a hack for that, and you can go and read on there how to do it. But if you want to pay someone to have a control panel where you can have point and click, kind of like setting the parameters in an FPV drone, kind of like a beta flight for DJI, that's the way I look at it, then you can go and get the No Limit Drones app, and it works.
So
do I trust them? Are they reputable? Yeah, absolutely. I know the guy who started the company, and it's definitely not created as a money-making venture. A lot of the money that he gets out of the company goes back into more security research. He's physically giving drones to the people who are finding the exploits and the hacks and all of that kind of stuff so that they can continue to do the research. Having said that, it's become successful enough that it is a profitable enterprise for him now, but certainly that was the genesis of it, and he's still supporting a lot of those people today.
Yeah, sort of like what Linux does with open source, allows other people to go inside and make their own flavor of the software. That's good. I like that. I've always liked that.
But all of the stuff that goes into No Limit Drones is published on that wiki site. Not everything, but pretty much most of them.
I will. I'll definitely look that up. Get some more information on that. That's great. I knew you'd be the source to go to ask particular questions like that, because that's part of your topics of conversation on your show.
I feel a video coming from James soon. His journey to crack the Phantom.
You're planning on loading it up on your Phantom?
No comment.
Hang on a second. Notes. Let's see. Would you like to do a review of it?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Would I like to do a review of it, or would I like you to do a review of it?
No, would you like to do a review of the product? I might accidentally have a license key here for you.
I don't know. Well, the problem is, and it has to do with exposure of questionable software. So what I try to do, anything that's on our channel, is everything is legit and conservative, and we try not to go. Yeah, we try not to go into areas that. So I would be really concerned about doing that on my channel, but yeah. And so
let me ask you this, right, James? Where do you draw the line? If you've bought an iPhone, and for example, someone sells a piece of software that lets you install apps that didn't come from the App Store on your iPhone, but the people who made that app, it's got no malware, and let's pretend for a minute that it was made by a reputable company. Let's say HP or IBM or Toshiba. It was a reputable company. Would you feel comfortable doing a review of that, even though it wasn't authorized by Apple?
Well, we have to put this into the context of legalities. That's what we have to put it into. And 100%. I think we're comparing apples and oranges here when we talk about changing software on a flight device that could conflict with regulations out there for safety, as opposed to giving you full control of a device that you purchased, and you purchased both of them, but what you can do with one is very different from what you can do with the other. So
you made an assumption about what it can and can't do, and I've got a personal view about the legal side of drone configuration. So if you go and get an FPV quad that you build yourself, it's got no limitations, no restrictions. It's got no limits. There's no law in any country that says it is mandatory for the manufacturer of a commercial aviation drone product to put in limitations and restrictions in their products. There's no law that says they have to do that.
It's on the pilot. It's just on the pilot. It doesn't matter what's under the hood of the drone.
The pilot in command is responsible for operating within the law.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
With that in mind, what is the issue from allowing you to have more control, more flexibility to do what you need to do, noting that you are still responsible for acting within the law?
Yeah. And I agree with you. I agree with you there. And that's a point. We actually talked a little bit offline after our show went off the air last week. And we started talking a little bit about that as well. And I agree with you. And what I can say is I believe when you own something, you should own everything on that device. You shouldn't have restrictions done. But there's a difference between you being responsible and somebody who might not be responsible using that same. We'll say the hack inside there.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
then it becomes a legal issue right there at that point. So that's why,
I
because
don't
it's
think it is a
debatable.
legal issue.
While
I
we're
don't think it
while
is
we're
a legal
debating,
issue at all.
yeah, we're
I don't
debating
think
it
it is.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll tell you the reason I don't think it is a legal issue. The law is 100% clear in each of the IATA connected aviation regulation organisations. The pilot in command has responsibility, period. There is no exception to that. The manufacturer of a product has no obligations to put in any limits. If they do so outside of the requirements of the government of the country. So, for example, I would argue that DJI, for example, putting in flight zones and no takeoff zones and all of that kind of stuff, when it wasn't mandated by the local company, is exceeding their authority. And I'll tell you why. The data that they're using says that there's a helipad about 3 or 4 kilometres from me. It hasn't been there for years. It's a bloody car park. And you tell the people who own that data about it, and they don't fix it. So
Yeah, and that's the same thing I talked about when we went down to Palawan. When we were down there, we were about 5 kilometers away from a very small airport that they have inside there. But I was inside the town, and there's this huge, beautiful rock that just sits right on the side of town. Huge, and and I just wanted to get a picture of that on the side where nobody would fly right there, but I couldn't even take off. It wouldn't allow me to take off the ground because of the flight restrictions inside it, because I was 5 kilometers away from an airport. So I think you and I both I think we agree with the fundamentals that we should be restricted from that. But the other side of the coin is, what if somebody does do that, and they go up and they do something bad, and it causes,
or the drone flies away on them or something.
Get
a
self-built drone or another manufacturer. The fact that no limit drones is available doesn't suddenly make this available as an option to them. They already have that option available. It's not something that, oh, we've got the keys to the castle. No, you can go and buy a different drone today.
Yeah. Well, I thought when you said the obvious reason, you thought that this was done by the manufacturers. I didn't hear you say it. And what I think the obvious reason is, it has to do with liabilities. For them to be able to go out and sell everything in a business is money. Bottom line is money. How much can they make? And to be able to continue doing what they need to do without any pressure. They didn't do it for
liability reason. They did it because of brand imagery reasons. They don't want their brand to be seen as the one that's going up to 15,000 feet. That's what they're trying to avoid. Now, same comment would be made. Yeah, it's publicity. And they want to say, we're all in favour of safety. But the reality is, you've already got other brands available. You've got other people who have the opportunity to do that today with maybe a more advanced aircraft. But it's not happening left, right, and centre. It's not a big thing in the world. It's a case of, they're exceeding their authority. It's kind of along with the right to repair. Right?
You don't think they're trying to be responsible?
You could argue that, but you could argue that they're trying to be responsible if the only restrictions that they did were 100% in alignment with the laws of the country in which it's being operated. Again, I get to the point. They have a heliport 3 or 4 kilometres away from me. Why?
So you can't
responsibility. No,
you can't take off.
I cannot take off at that location.
At your house, you can.
My house, I can. I'm far enough away. It's a heliport, not an airport. But the point is, they are restricting beyond what the law tells them they need to restrict. And here's another example. If you're flying alongside a mountain the famous one. You take off at a certain level. You have the right to stay at the height above the ground level, AGL, but the drone restricts you against height at takeoff level. You have the lawful right to fly higher than the drone's letting you do. Is that fair? Is that reasonable? Is that enforcing safety?
Well, I just learned something new from you, because I thought it had to do with, like, because they know it picks everything off of GPS, and it knows where. So you're telling me, if I fly on top of a mountain and I'm at the very top and I'm only 5 meters above ground level, it doesn't use that as my reference point.
It uses my that takeoff as your reference point. But if you take the opposite and you sit at the bottom of the mountain and you want to take off, you can only fly to 400 feet or 120 meters from there. But if you were flying at, let's say, 50 feet above ground level, following the contour of the mountain, you should be able to continue to ascend beyond 400 feet above takeoff. Agreed?
I think so, yeah. If I understand.
DJI doesn't let you do that. Again, these are limitations and restrictions that the manufacturer is imposing on pilots beyond what is legal. Now, if they were only restricting to what is legal, then you could make the argument, yes, it's only safety related, but that's not it. Second thing, what if you want to fly faster? It's legal. Why should they stop you from flying faster?
Okay.
Tell me.
Good point.
I'd love to know.
Good point. Well, if you ask me what my opinion is, why they have restrictions on things like how quick you can raise in altitude, drop in altitude, go in forward motion, I think it has to do with the limitations of the aircraft itself, and what they don't want you to do. They don't want you to do something that might cause you to crash that particular
again,
aircraft.
This is their arbitrary decisions. They're not aligned with the law. So your argument is that this is a legal discussion. It's not a legal one. It's DJI made some arbitrary decisions which are not linked to the law.
Well, if that's the case, if it's not legal, why then do companies like the No Limit Drones, like No Limit Drones, why do they insist that they can't have their company funds be in the U.S. or they have to go to an offshore account somewhere?
It's got nothing to do with that at all.
Well, but that's where
He's
they do.
He's not U.S. based.
But that's what they.
He is not based in the U.S.
So why do they do that? Because we normally know why people.
He doesn't live in the U.S.
Yeah.
He doesn't live in the U.S.
Oh, he lives in the UK, doesn't he? He lives in the UK,
he doesn't live in the UK either.
Oh, I thought he lived in the UK.
Europe. He lives in Europe, but I can't remember which country. But I do know that not for legal reasons, but for his own other business reasons, he floats between two countries, 6 months here, 6 months there, for tax reasons. Got nothing to do whatsoever with No Limit Drones.
You see, Lloyd says DJI just wants to sell drones in the U.S.
It's true,
and I think
I
think that's a big reason why they put so many restrictions on it, because they know where their biggest market is.
Well, they have the majority of the market.
Doesn't Autel have restrictions?
Well, they don't. Yeah, so James, you can do this, man. You can do it, and the only thing that would void is the warranty on your 5-year-old drone. So you have a warranty.
But there's no
limitation on warranty. Once you apply any of these tweaks, it doesn't affect your warranty.
Yeah, and there's no warranty anyway, so there's no fear of. That's what I'm saying. There's no fear of voiding a warranty. It doesn't exist anymore.
And that's one of the things that they push on their site, is they say it doesn't void your warranty by doing. And I don't know if again, you can say anything on your site that you want to. We've seen a lot of people saying things that are not true.
Warranty, and you can read the terms and conditions, and there's nothing in there that relates to software changes, mods, or tweaks.
They're not going to pay anyway. They never do.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't successful getting my DJI product warranty corrected, and that had to do with the flight controller. Remember, I had and they're right over here. And is it Singapore or Taiwan, or they're right across?
You were saying modifying the flight controller or something. I can't remember the words you used, but to be clear, what No Limit Drones app does, there are existing parameter settings in the app, and you can set the maximum tilt angle, for example, for the drone, which therefore affects the speed that you can go to. And you can set different parameters for sports mode versus normal mode versus ADI mode if you're flying a Phantom, etc. You can change all of those values. Those parameters are already built into the aircraft. The only thing is they haven't exposed them to the outside world. I'll give you a different example of something that's topical at the moment. Have you heard of the McDonald's ice cream machine issue?
No, I
Have
haven't.
any of you heard about it over the last little while? There's a fair few videos going on about at the moment about McDonald's ice cream machines in the US and how 15% of them at any one point in time are out of service in the US. Yeah. And the company in that case said, hey, I'm going to deliberately obfuscate what's actually wrong and what needs to be done and not provide that information. And there's now a lot of challenges over what they've been doing because as a result of that, the McDonald's people have no option but to call the service technician. Their machine keeps breaking, and this gets onto, in their case, right to repair. Now, if I equate right to repair to a DJI drone, you have right to repair, you have right to modify, you have right to do anything you like with your property. But as a pilot in command, you have the ultimate responsibility for safety and adherence to your local regulations, period. So you have the right to repair, modify, tweak, do anything you like with it that's lawful. The restrictions that the manufacturer chose to put on that for an arbitrary non-law enforcement reason, you have no obligation to keep those restrictions there.
Well, when you're talking about, say, like a pilot having the ability to do, even though his aircraft can do all these things.
You've just said a pilot, but qualify that.
Well, you said
a pilot. A pilot
you just
that
said
owns
pilot.
his own aircraft, or are you talking about a pilot that's working for an airline?
I'm talking about any pilot because you brought up the term.
A GA pilot.
You brought up the term pilot.
Yep, a GA pilot. And hang on, let's qualify it. A GA pilot that owns his own aircraft. Any aspect of that aircraft that is not TSO certified, and that therefore is not able to be modified. The FAA certifies individual components. They can't be modified. Second thing is, GA pilots can go and do experimental aircraft where they don't have to start with TSO certified bits. They can build, as we've recently seen, hoverboard aircraft that people can stand on and all of these kind of weird things. It is legal to do that. So the difference is you're operating, if you're let's say operating a 747, it's operating within specified conditions that say what you can and can't do, and there's obligations there. But when it comes to a drone, you have no certification of the individual aircraft design, components or parts for which the FAA or equivalent in your country are responsible for. Therefore, you can do anything you like, and you can start from the ground up and build a nice little X-frame, and you can put some motors on it and some ESCs and a controller. You can build it from the ground up. There's no obligation to have restrictions.
So can I change the subject? I don't want to change. No, James, you're still in the middle of it. I was going to ask about something else, but I'll wait till after.
Okay.
I have a segue question when we get there.
Yeah, I just wanted to focus in on the term pilot because you brought it up and it just made me think. When we're talking about what you can do and cannot do. And I just wanted to do the comparison between a licensed pilot, commercial airline, private, no matter what. Yep. You've had training and you have certifications that you have to do all these things. You're in an aircraft that can exceed, it can break rules, but since you are licensed, you've had the training, you're certified to do these kind of things, it's expected that the pilot will fall within all the regulations. Now,
Absolutely.
That's talking about that. Now, we're talking about, this is why I think the question is more complex than, it's more complex than we're simplifying it here. You have a drone pilot who may or may not be certified, may or may not have gotten that qualification inside there. Then you have, let's talk about the one that has no training, no formal training whatsoever. He has no certification, no license. And then he goes up and he does these kind of crazy things. He exceeds, he flies a drone into an airspace with a commercial airline, a private airline, a helicopter, whatever it is inside there, and he causes damage. That's where I think the complexities come in. And that's one of the reasons why I think DJI puts these restrictions inside there, and I think a lot of it has to do
James,
with
what brand of car do you drive?
A Toyota.
Okay, let's go and speak to Toyota and get them to put speed limiters in all of your vehicles that you own and drive, because it's important to make sure that you don't do what's not legal. You know, we've got to limit your vehicle.
Yeah.
It's the same argument. It can do a lot of damage. It can hurt a lot of people.
But before you can drive, what's the first thing you have to have before you go inside your vehicle, or supposed to own before you go inside your vehicle?
Let's put speed limiters on all bicycles which don't need registration or a license.
You have to have a license. You have to have a license. And
we have rules as hobbyists. We have rules we must follow as pilots in a hobby level.
That's the point that I'm making. You don't have to have rules on bicycles, right? So let's
you do have rules on. You do have a rule on bicycles. You have to follow motor vehicle rules.
True. But
technically,
hang on. Let's talk about that.
I'm not arguing on James' behalf.
You can get a bicycle that can travel faster than the speed limit. So does that mean we've got to put speed limiting devices on every bicycle that's sold?
No, you're going to write tickets up for everybody that violates the law. Okay, it's the responsibility of the bicyclist.
We don't live in a nanny state.
It's the responsibility of the drone pilot to obey the laws. That's it. It doesn't matter. You can take an FPV drone out with no crap on it whatsoever, fly the hell out of it, and as long as you're flying the right distance away from airports and following the rules, and you're 400 feet or less above ground level, and yada yada yada, and you're Class G, you're good. Doesn't matter if the drone tells you can do it or not. It's you.
It's the same argument. It's exactly the same argument in the US, right? Where you guys say we want to
put any software on it I want, and they can't. As long I'm responsible, James, you're responsible when you fly it. It doesn't matter what the hell the software is on the drone. Doesn't matter. I want to
extend this to something that'll be near and dear to a lot of Americans' hearts. You've got the right to carry a gun.
Well, not in New York, not without a lot of bullshit, but yeah.
In the US, right? You've got the right to bear arms or whatever you want to call it.
Greg, all of these are topics for ArtCo tomorrow. You should wait for tomorrow and get on.
Well, we're at that time. I'm sleeping.
Right.
So I got to get in now.
Yeah, we kept Greg on too long, but no, really, James, you can put the software that he's offering you on your drone, and you just fly it responsibly, and then those hurdles that you have been created by DJI where you can't fly that close to that one object, even though you know you can, then you can.
And let me say this, legal, every single time I've talked about this software, every time
and
I've said, look, it gives you the ability to take off the chains, break the restrictions, but that doesn't mean you should be a
cowboy.
I haven't got a beep on my soundboard yet.
Cowboy.
That doesn't mean you should be a beep. You need to fly responsibly and legally.
That's all.
Greg, I said, I think we agree to agree, because that's the exact same thing that we're doing. We're saying the same exact words here.
Yeah.
For me, being responsible, I would love to take advantage of that software and do that software.
So you should.
But I don't know what the view is, because none of us here that I know of, none of us are lawyers, right? I don't think none of us know. I know you read. I know you read a lot about the rules and regulations and stuff on what you can do and can't do, but I don't know. Because I believe if it were 100% where nobody would debate it and argue it, you'd be able to buy this on Amazon.com. It would be available.
No, he's chosen not to sell it there. That's his choice. He could put it on Amazon if he wanted to.
Yeah.
He's chosen
and his price. And his price is great, because it's like
yes, thanks, Art.
Yeah, the pricing is great. Also, it's very affordable.
Well said.
But I think the reason, and I honestly believe, if it were where everybody said it was legit and legal and it was all good to go, he could sell it for multiple times that software than what he's selling it for on there. So again,
he's chosen
I think
to drop the price just out of interest because there's someone else who is making another product. There's competition. Yeah. He's dropped his price. It's got nothing to do with anything else.
Well,
he used to sell it for more.
Well, I know on your show, I don't know if the competition that you're talking about, because on your show there you had somebody on that actually modifies. They'll modify the board on there.
That's him as well. That's the guy from No Limit Drones.
Yeah. Oh, the same guy?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Cold Flake. You want me to get you to do an interview with you and him? This would be a fun debate. Let's do it. No, I mean, I'm dead serious.
Really good. It'd be really good. Yeah, just
ArtCo Drone
organized.
Solutions.
You know what? I'm going to set up a show with you and him. We're going to have both of you on there. We're going to have you play around with, install the code to just see what you can do with it. Have it on your screen. Understand it. Comment and talk from your perspective on your concerns about the legalities, the risks, and all of that. Why not just do it open discussion?
James, you should totally do it, man.
Yeah. Go for it.
Yes, you should do it for sure.
Yeah.
Do it.
Well,
and an adult discussion on this topic is perfect.
Yeah, I think again, before I would even consider, and I think it's cool, Greg. And again, for me personally, I like the software. I read the reviews. I read both on his site. You can't always go by what's on a specific vendor's site because it could all be biased. It could be 100% biased. You don't know what you're getting. But I've read about his offline. I've looked at YouTube videos. I've looked at reviews elsewhere that are outside YouTube. And there's nothing but really good stuff. People, I don't even know that I saw anything that said there was anything bad. Maybe one. I think somebody maybe had a problem installing. But there are many good reviews on. They said it was easy to install. It gave them the ability, the things to do that they wanted to do. And it was cheap. The software, so everything that I don't really see when you weigh the two sides, everything is done in pros and cons. The pros far outweighed the con, but the strength of the one con that people questioned it, and it had to go from the legal perspective, and that's what I just wanted to debate. Maybe not the word debate is probably not.
Finish with one thing. You would understand this concept. At the end of the day, the DJI aircraft has an API on it, and you can connect to it. The protocol that it uses is called DUML, DJI Unified Markup Language, or whatever it originally stood for. It's a protocol. Now, back in the early days of No Limit Drones, they were doing all sorts of weird shit, but they've got to the point where they've reverse engineered the protocol enough to say, turn off speed restrictions, or turn off this, or turn on that. They're just parameters. So from the perspective of legal stuff, they're using an existing API in DJI products. DJI haven't published a lot of that. The fact that they've reverse engineered it, so be it. But they're using an API. So at that perspective, you've got to say, hey, what are the legals about that? Doc Murdoch says, I think that would be an amazing show, Greg, do it. Just a quick little comment there. I agree with you, Doc, by the way. So they're using an API. The second thing that I would say, from a legal perspective, if we're going to go there, again, the right to modify your equipment is guaranteed in consumer law when you own it. So you have the right to modify. The second thing is, from a legal perspective, show me in your country or in an FAA FAR regulations or whatever, any law or regulation. Don't give me, well, it might be illegal, it might be. I'm not trying to say that disrespectfully to you, but there's a lot of people who are negative, and you've heard some of those people saying that it might not be legal. Well, I've got two words. Show me. Right? As someone who's personally a licensed drone pilot in my country, I've gone to a training course that cost me $2,500–3,000 to do. So I've gone through the laws, I've gone through the regulations, I've gone through the exams. And there's nothing in there that says you can't do that from an aviation regulation perspective.
Well, art show here today is not the correct forum to be discussing this particular when it comes to legalities, when it comes like that. But it has to do with comparison. Let me do a comparison right now, and it's something that's very, very active, and there's a lot of awareness going on in the United States right now, and it has to do with the ability of you to take a weapon, a gun. Again, this is not for his show today, maybe for tomorrow's show, but for today. But I'm going to bring it up because it has to be in comparison to what you're talking about right now. To be able, if you have a device from a manufacturer and you can modify it, do you have the right to modify it? And it has to do with both legal, moral, and ethical issues that you have to take into consideration.
Define
and
modify. And I asked that question.
Well, let's talk. Just let me finish my train of thought. It has to do with modifying. What if you can go into Kmart or Walmart and buy a weapon that's a semi-automatic weapon and modify it to a fully automatic weapon, because you don't really need, and this is my opinion, and again, it's not for Art show today, it's more for his conservative show on the day that follows. Do you feel that we have the right to modify something that was meant for one purpose into something that's meant for a totally different purpose that can actually do harm? And then we could also apply that same idea to
harm.
Drones, to harm, hurting somebody.
Okay, I'm just asking because, no, I'm not trying to debate it either. I'm just thinking, like, I don't know how many guys like me with Corvettes have hopped them up and done things to make them go even faster than they do already. And as long as we still obey the speed limit and stuff, who cares?
I asked the question about define what is modification. If you've got a gun and you polish it, you're modifying it. That's modifying it, right?
But that's not going to harm anybody. I
think I was specific in the type of modification.
No. I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
So you change something that is legal into something that is not legal. So none of the changes that are proposed in terms of the tweaks that can be done with no limit drones are unlawful.
Yeah, Hollis is right. Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And again, the use of the drone or the car or whatever you modify, as long as whatever it can do, what you allow it to do, is you're still the driver, the vehicle, the pilot of the drone. They're responsible.
If the FAA or equivalent in your country said it is unlawful to make changes to the flight control of a drone, then that would be fair. But then the question is, you've got Betaflight for everyone that's doing FPV flying and other similar programs. Does that then make those pieces of software illegal? Because Betaflight is ultimately the non-DJI version of No Limit Drones. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a parameter modification tool.
Again, Greg, I think we're both saying the same thing. And for me, I always play advocate of my own self. I take both positions, and I try to listen. And I think most people need to do that. You need to and a lot of people are you're only strong on one side or they're strong on the other.
I've taken the other sides into account over the period of times when I've seen this software being built. Right? I've asked the question, and I'll give you an example of something that I said. In my opinion, taking off on top of a runway at a towered airport. So one of the modifications that are available in No Limit Drones is to turn off no-fly zones. And I said, that's fine. Instead of turning it off, my opinion, it'd be smart to say, hey, we're going to limit it to 500 meters around the runway of a towered airport or something like that. So instead of making it 5.5 kilometers, bring it down to 500 meters. Why?
Make it more realistic.
Because you don't want to have a Gatwick where someone goes and says, no limit drones, let me do this. So it's more a reputational thing for no limit drones than anything else. There's nothing in the law that says you can't remove a no-fly zone. It is lawful to remove it. The responsibility is still 100% with the pilot who's piloting the drone. End of discussion. There's nothing, no responsibility.
not the end of a discussion.
Well, it is. It is because I've read the law.
Yeah. Well, I suspect.
And while I'm not a drone lawyer, I've certainly done contract law for many years with the companies that I've worked for.
You didn't play one on TV?
Doing contracts for hundreds of millions of dollars that I've been working on.
Did you stay at Holiday Inn Express? I just got to ask you.
What's Holiday Inn Express?
Oh, you're not from. You have to be in the U.S. to know that.
US
Never
thing.
mind.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's like me asking. It's like this
Carry your
morning.
American Express card.
It's like this morning.
Oh, well.
Ken made that joke about the time travel, and then
Yeah, and I was
Ness
like,
is yeah, well, you were. I don't know why you didn't get it. And Ness is like, this has to do with culture. And Ness is like, what is he talking about? And I'm like, we're not going there because that happens every time I try to tell Ness a U.S. check.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
I don't understand it.
It was like I looked at him like a deer in headlights. Like, huh?
Yeah.
Where's the punchline?
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Anyway, Greg, I agree to agree. But I think there's more debate that goes into it because I know you wanted to. I thought this was going to be a very small discussion.
I had a quick question, but I don't think it's going to be a quick question. But maybe it is.
But it was good. It was good that we brought it up because I think it was a really interesting.
It was an interesting debate.
Really topic. Yeah. And I know you had to get out, and I have to get out. I can only stay in a few more minutes because we have to run into town. And
Chuck, you have a quick question. Who was it of?
I hope it's quick. I mean, like these guys that have been they've been using FCC mode in Europe. Now is that kind of the same thing where you change the drone and it's really not, you can do it, or is it?
Let me answer the question. Really simple answer to the question.
I mean, you can do it, but is it legal?
FCC mode increases your transmit power output beyond what is legal in the country. Is it legal to make that change? That would be dependent on what is in your country. If you are doing a hardware modification to increase the power output in all countries, pretty much that would be illegal and unlawful.
Okay.
Right. So if you're physically changing the hardware. If you're removing a software lock, the actual act of doing that in most countries, I believe, is not unlawful. But when you press the transmit button and turn it on, that act is unlawful in some countries. Then you go to the next level and say, how can you make that act lawful? And some people are amateur radio operators and they've gone through certifications and got their exams and their qualifications. Depending on what band they're on, and if I use the Phantom 4 series as an example,
like Lightbridge,
you've got the ISM band, right? Now I'd have to check the laws in each different countries, but I do know that in some countries, if you're a ham operator, it is lawful to use the ISM band at a frequency above the CE restrictions.
Ooh, interesting loophole.
So there's lots of. It's not a simple answer, but.
Okay, fair enough.
Going back to the original question, is owning the software legal? Yes. Is using the software legal? Yes. Is modifying your drone legal? The RF one is probably the only one that I would say you'd need to check in your country if it's legal to modify it. But legal to use it, that may not be in your country. Having said all of that, I do not advocate breaking the law, but I know a lot of people do fly and use CB radios and all sorts of other RF devices at power outputs above what is lawful in your country. Everyone knows back in the days of CB radios, people get...
the boosters.
Yeah, right? So I'm making that analogy, right? So you get a booster on your equipment and it allows you to talk further. It has potential implications of interfering with other devices in your area. That's pretty much the worst case scenario of what the impact of that is. And then you as a responsible user have to think about that.
So what you just said, doing the FCC mod, you're not allowed to do it mechanically, electronically, hardware driven, but you're allowed to do it software. But if you push the button after you do it on software and activate it, now you've broken a law.
That's what I get from it.
Wouldn't that same that same apply to if you install the no-fly zone limit drone software,
No.
and then
they're not the same thing, James.
That's not illegal. But if you go beyond a certain flight restriction that's done within the country that you're in, and you've actually
Flying
exceeded
illegal was
that,
illegal before then.
Yeah. So that's
point.
that's where things differ. Like with the frequency thing, with the FCC or the CE laws for radio transmission. That's what I was wondering. I mean, that's blatantly. Then now we're really changing.
That's a black
we're
and white.
violation.
That's
We're violating.
black and white. Yeah.
Yeah, but like changing the hardware on the drone so that you can do like you don't have the same
we're not talking
limitations.
hardware. We're not talking
software.
hardware.
I'm sorry, software. Software. We're changing software settings to change the limitations set up on the drone by DJI to suit your needs. As long as you as a pilot obey the law, it doesn't matter. You can
Correct.
fly the
So
thing. That's what I think the bottom line is with all this.
It's illegal to transmit at a power level that's unlawful, just like it's illegal to fly at a flight level that's unlawful.
Right.
But the fact that you've removed a restriction is not in itself an unlawful act. Here's another interesting fun fact. The existing drone maximum flight level, you can already fly above 400 feet, right? The restriction doesn't kick in at 400 feet. You can already fly illegally. Okay? But this is just saying we're taking off all of the restrictions and saying, hey, we're going to let you
make the decisions.
Make the decisions
as the pilot
totally.
Command.
So it's not giving you the ability to break a law that you couldn't already break. That's a good way of putting it, James. Do you like that one?
Okay.
That is pretty good. Yep.
Okay. Good.
Just do it, man.
Gotcha.
Just do it, James. Freaking do it, man.
Yeah. I'm thinking. I'm just thinking right now.
Use this.
Man,
this is better than any GPS or anything. This thing up here is the decision maker that outdoes anything else. Use that, man. You got a good one. Use it. Just do it.
To be continued. To be continued.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. Just Mike B, the drone ranger, said DJI will fly it over 1,500 feet out of the box, right? So you can.
Well, it's capable of flying that high.
Correct. And you can already, I couldn't remember the number, but I know that you've got default limits that come in. It'll set it at 400 feet. Or I think it may even set it at 500 out of the box. It's been a long time since I've had a look at default settings, but you can change it. And then there's a secondary software restriction, which it will not allow you to modify using the standard DJI equipment. But again, no limit drones can take that away. So you can already fly unlawfully using their product.
Up to a certain firmware level, according to their site.
1,500 feet.
No, I'm talking about for modifications. You can use that software that they have on their site.
No. Forget the modifications. I'm talking about the actual DJI Go settings. You can already modify it and go higher than what is lawful today without any third-party tools.
Yeah, the 500 meters. The 500 meters.
For example, if you want to fly over
140 feet,
like a skyscraper or a tall building, you could be 400 feet above that stretch.
Right. That's if you're.
And there's lots of things changing with regard to all of that, so I don't want to get into that discussion. Forget about the skyscraper thing, but talk about a mountain. It's a better and more accurate. It's above ground level is what the law says. And again, if you've got a mountain that's higher than 1,500 feet and you're following the contour of the earth, maintaining, let's say, 50 or 100 feet above ground level at all times, that's lawful. I'm not trying to find a get out of jail free card for turning all of these things off, but I'm just saying, just like you've got a car that doesn't have speed limiters on it, just like you don't have a bicycle that has speed limiters on it, there's no reason to have those limitations on a drone, other than the manufacturer decided they wanted to do it, and it is lawful for you to remove those restrictions.
Well, Chuck, similar to you talking about the FCC mod that was over in Europe, that's pretty much included in the no limit drones software as well for every model of DJI except for my model. because my model uses the light bridge. They haven't figured a way to increase the power on the light bridge,
Yes,
but they can do it on well, it's not on their site. It says,
Would you like
if
to
you
know
go,
about it?
well, if you go on, I would love to know about it, because on their site it says it has a matrix inside there, and it says what firmware version you can have that you can actually upgrade and use their stuff, and it also says what models of the drone have what features. And the feature for the DJI Phantom 4 Pro, not the V2, but the Pro that runs on Lightbridge.
Yeah, I've got a Pro. I wish I had a V2 as well.
It says
let me go and...
it says you can't you can't. The only upgrade you can't do is the one for increase in power, so that you can get more distance.
Let me just have a look at that.
James, could you tell Ness to keep it down?
Hey, Ness. Art says you're making too much noise in there.
I want to see her hand come through like the screen, like this, and like grab him by the throat. It'd be funny.
Tell you what I'm going to do. While we're sitting here, I'm going to go and have a chat to Coldflake, Mr. No Limit Drones himself, because I think that documentation may be
way over
inaccurate.
again, aren't we?
Does anyone care? Do you care?
That was the only thing that made me sad.